What up? What up, everybody? Welcome to another live stream here on Friday. Again, back-to-back live streams, but we have a special guest with us on the live stream today, all the way from snowy Colorado. It is the Basement King himself taking a day off to be with us and talk about some stuff that's happening. Again, getting tons of emails. So here we go. Without further ado, let me bring in the man himself, the myth, the legend. He does exist. Here he is. Jay, the Basement King. What's up, Jay?
What's up, Mr. Abernathy?
Hey, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's is it a chilly morning in Colorado? What's it like in Colorado here? I took the day off here. Obviously we're closed this week here at the office, but figured I would jump on. I've been jumping on a lot lately, so I figured we would jump on. I saw how you just registered this morning. Tons of people are still asking the questions of how in the world do we do all the things on the website? How do we change over? What's going to happen? So, I mean, obviously, you probably have same types of questions or what's going to happen. Even if I post something, people still go, what's happening? Is the website going away? Is it changing? What's going on? So figured we would just chill out about it, talk about some resolutions, and just enjoy the morning with some coffee. And you got your coffee. I've got today different. I've got my little M&M's cup. Got this when I went to Vegas to the M&M store. So
cute.
Definitely. So good morning, RCB. I guess it's an RCB. Good morning. Welcome to the morning chat. Folks are probably out working. We get the luxury of taking the day off, but
that's right.
But everybody's out there making that money. So, well, tell us a little bit about how was your Christmas, Jay? How was the Christmas with the puppy in the house, the zombie standoffish? I see all the pictures of your wife posting with the puppy. Poor zombie's gonna get jealous, but I don't think she could probably lift up zombie like that and take a little portrait. So, the kids in the house. How was your holiday?
It was amazing, man. We did Christmas a few weeks ago with our buddies Chris and Linda and their kids. So we kind of did that the Sunday before. Right. And then we did kind of like the in-house Christmas a few days after, I think like middle of last week. So we were already, the tree was up, the decorations of the house were already down. By the time it was Christmas Day, all we had left was the stockings and a few little like Christmas decoration pieces. One Jalissa got that like kind of sings the Christmas song, so we kind of kept that up. And as far as the puppies go, they're getting better every day. Every day.
Getting better. It'll get better.
It's Zombie's obviously just super jealous of the little one. But now that she's going outside with him and they're kind of doing their due at the same time and rolling in the truck with us in the front seat between mom and I, kind of sandwich them, they're starting to build a little bit of a bond. So it's pretty cool to see.
Oh yeah.
How was your Christmas?
Just went done. All the Christmas stuff is down. Thank goodness. Back to normal. I'm not a big Christmas guy as far as us celebrating and stuff. So since the parents are gone, I've really just my family's back in Virginia. So, okay. But you know, what is it? Joseph says QR code that's an app for your phone. It's not for a tablet. The tablet, you just go to the website and it just loads the entire app on your tablet. It's not a app, that type of thing. Okay. But if you can get it to work, fine, but it wasn't designed for a tablet, that type of thing. We're going to talk about different things like that today.
Yep. Good feedback.
Yeah.
Joseph, appreciate it.
So
I signed up on the forum this morning, and kind of like what you've been saying in your recent videos is you have different areas or different, the Sparky Hub, the forum, the Fast Track system, whatever one you're going into. I just kept the same username and password for them all.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you log into all, I mean, people want to know, that's like, okay, you got 3 different websites, right? If you think about it, pretty simple. One is for videos. That's it. One is for the Sparky Hub. That's it. And then one is for our website. If you purchase a course or you want to get any of our courses that we'll be putting out, and we'll talk about that a little bit because I've yet to tell anybody a little bit about that. I've kind of kept it kind of quiet what we're doing with that. But so there's 3 separate websites. So basically, you could be somebody who doesn't want to purchase any of our courses, but you want to start posting on the forum. Just go to the Sparky Hub, and you don't even have to go to our website. If that's your choice. I mean, I'd love you to purchase our products, but you don't have to. And that's the same thing with the Fast Trax 2. If you just want to watch our videos or watch the videos or do something over there, then you can go to that platform and do that.
Right.
But you're right. When you're setting up your username, if you want to be a part of all of them, which there's going to be so many changes, I would encourage people to be a part of all of them. If you sign up for them all, just use the same information at sign up, right? If it asks you for a username, use the same username. It asks you to send an email, use the same email. And all those type of password, use the same password. That way, there's no special information that way. So no matter which one you go on, you don't have to remember all these username. Right. Although you're probably like me, I literally have a list of hundreds and hundreds of passwords because you know how people say, well, every site you go to, you need to get a separate password, separate because of hackers out there. I get it, but there's really no need to do that on our sites. That type of thing. We don't share any of the information. None of it's used for anything other than just to get into our sites. So I have no desire to use your info for anything other than that. So yeah, keep it simple. Somebody said last night, it was like, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. That type of thing. Okay. So you hadn't had a chance to really mull around and there's not a whole lot there right now because we need people to start posting and community posting and things like that, code questions or just anything. But it's like anything, everything starts. It wouldn't be right if I pre-populated with a bunch of stuff. Either people are going to post on it or not. And if they don't, that's fine. If they do, that's fine. Now we use the Sparky Hub a lot, but it was over 2,000 plus members of the old Sparky Hub.
Yep.
Not the Fast Trax forum, but the Sparky Hub. But interesting, Jay, tell me your honest opinion of the old one. You haven't played with the new one yet. You notice how at the old one, it would stack comments and you'd have to scroll down to get to, it's kind of like you would lose stuff. You know what I mean? Like when I posted something about, somebody had said something about being able to get to the Wednesday night sessions. And I found out, and I was telling everybody that it's always there. It's always there. It's pinned to the top. Well, it is pinned to the top. But when I make another announcement, guess what happened? It unpinned it. And since I made that original post about Wednesday nights, it was a year ago. Guess what it did? It threw it down into the post. No wonder Jesus and all them couldn't find it. And I was telling them, it's there. It's there. You're wrong. They were right. I was wrong.
Yep.
Okay? I was wrong.
You won't hear that often.
Yeah, you don't hear that. Yeah, thanks. So new forum, that can never happen. And I will go look at the forum. And, as I say always, Jay, give me your honest feedback. You won't hurt my feelings. We're constantly changing it, adding new extensions. I want to add a chat feature soon so that you can go there and chat live. If you get a bunch of guys in a room, they could be chatting it up. You're sitting there using it from your phone or whatnot, and you're chilling out somewhere. You can go like, hey, what's up, dudes? That type of thing live. We're going to be adding that. And see, I couldn't do that before. Everybody's asking about the old Wix app, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Say it isn't so, Paul. The old Wix app is Schwartzy's in the house.
Schwartzy.
Yeah, it says the old Wix app was very limited. The new app is I can't. He says say it isn't so. You can't be wrong. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yes, Schwartzy, you don't hear it often, but I was wrong. Jesus was right. Jesus is always right, but in this case,
It's true.
Jesus that joins us on Wednesday nights was right. It disappeared, and it was my doing. Well, at the new forum, that can't happen because we put what's called stickies, and I sticky it at the top, that type of thing. So it's just much better. Now, it is some crap you got to go. Check out. I'm sitting there talking. Guess who? Look.
Who is it? Who is it?
Look. Look who commented.
Oh, he's right. That's right.
He's in the house. You know what? What's the odds he'd be listening today? He's in the house, and he's always right. Absolutely.
That's right. Always right, my man. Did he ever sign up for doesn't he take an exam again here soon? Or
I think
take
so.
some exam? Man.
Yeah. I will say, Jesus, your competency reviews are getting better. So
there we go.
The lookups are looking better. You're getting them.
Yes.
So yeah, remember, get those calculate. And I think, you know what? He's attending my webinar on January 7th. So, dude, you should be ready after that. You'll be ready to tackle any of the calculations.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, you'll be good. You're doing it the right way. Okay. You're doing it the right way, brother. You know, the what is it? The tortoise and the hare, the tortoise always wins. I'm just saying. Beanie's Garage, what's up? Welcome.
What up? What up?
Yep. So Jay, do you have any? So want to look at the forum real quick and kind of walk you through, because I don't think you've been through it. Any at least.
I don't think so.
So here's the forum.
Yep.
And let's see here if we can make us a little bigger. Well, no, I don't like that look. It's bigger, but puts us away. All right. But you know what? Actually, I could get rid of us. But so here's what the forum looks like. And you see, I got somebody up here waiting to be approved right here. See this little thing? And I approve everybody. Now, I want to show you what it looks like when you first come here real quick. So anybody that first comes here to the Sparky Hub, this is what it looks like. Now, don't be alarmed because the URL will say Fast Trax System, because that's the new platform and everything we're going.
Right.
But it's and at least now you won't see the Wix, you won't see the spaces, you won't see any of that type stuff as we go. So anyway, when you first come in here, Jay, when you log in, of course, you have access now to the Sparky Hub. I mean, the actual forum for Fast Trax students. But when you first get here, this is what it looks like, folks. It's not a lot of stuff in here because it's new. But you'll see here, we're going to be putting some blogs in here. And you can post blogs. Anybody can post blogs. Okay. If you have a blog you want to post, just make sure it's your original content and don't post somebody else's blog, copyright infringement and whatnot. But look, we have some online courses. I click on that, and there's some free online courses that are part of our partnership with Allison, right?
Yep.
Profitable marketing for small business, introduction to business accounting. Hey, you got to know accounting. Look at here, principles of circuit design and blueprint reading. Okay, free course. Fundamentals of electric three-phase power. All those. Beginning AC motors, electrical fundamentals, essential for electrical safety, electrical transformer components. So we'll be adding more of these. But this is some free stuff. This isn't part of our website. This is part of the Sparky Hub. Right. So I think that's where a lot of the confusion's liable to start. Right. Is that when you see this one and it says Fast Trax System Forum, it is actually a separate entity. It's the Sparky Hub, and I don't know if making that easier is for us to change the title here instead of saying Fast Track System Forum to actually say the Sparky Hub. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. But the concept is we want to try to keep it all, separate. Of course, you can always get back to our main website by clicking a home button. But this is the forum. Anybody can come and join. You don't have to be a customer of us to join this. But it's all built around our Fast Trax system, right? So you come over here and you register, and you did that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Registered. And this is what you see when you come here and you're not registered. You actually don't have to register as a read. You can come and actually read the stuff here, right? So so let me show you what you do real quick. So if you're a Fast Trax student real quick, because I want to show this because the people are asking about this and they're getting confused. I knew you were Jason. He said, this is Jason, by the way. He says, Jason, Beanie's Garage. Or is it Bean or Beanie? I like calling you Beanie. So anyway, so let me get back to this. So in here, when you first come in, a Fast Trax student that registers can't get access to the Fast Trax forum, right? It's private. Nobody can see it but people that are members, right? So what you do is you come down here and you see where it says Fast Trax Program Questions and Inquiries. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You click on it. And in here, you see what it says? Attention Fast Trax students, request access here.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a little sticky. Means it's not going anywhere, right? And of course, you want to get the app, you can click here, all right? And if you got questions on the Fast Trax system program, Black or Plus, you ask questions here, or you can create a new topic if you want. But if I click here, this is where you get the instructions, okay? What you do is you email us at support@fasttraxsystems.com. You tell us your username that you set up on the forum here, right? And then you give us your original Fast Trax course key that's in the email that we sent you. Now, if you don't have that anymore, and maybe it was 2 years ago you became a Fast Trax student and your course is expired, right? And you don't have that email anymore, that's fine. What you can do is you can post a comment right here requesting access to the Fast Trax student portal, and then post your full name and we will go look you up and verify you, okay? So I can click a post right here. Of course, you got to be logged in. It won't let you do it by just coming as a guest, right? So you can read it, but it forces you to register, and then you can do a post, okay? Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll let you read it, but I won't let you do this feature right here. We won't let you post a reply until you actually go up here and register your account. And then once you're approved, then when you come back here, then you'll be able to post a comment. And that's a way to get to the program, okay? So the reason we did this is to make sure that we weed everybody out that's only Fast Trax students, right? And the reason for that is we're going to be posting so much stuff now in the Fast Trax forum that originally wasn't access to Fast Trax students, right? You had to be a subscriber monthly or annual to get, but we're going to, in moving forward, we're going to make all this stuff available.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be able to get there through that forum. So we want to make sure that all Fast Trax students, you invested in it. We want to make sure you get access to everything. So that's going to be cool. So that's something new. What is Kenneth? Kenneth says confused with technology. No confusion, Kenneth. All you got to do is just go to the website and register just like you would on any website. Just make sure you use the same username and password for all of them. Keep it simple. Bean. All right, Beanie says it's Beanie. He says it's just Bean, like Mr. Bean. Okay, I love that comedy sketch, Mr. Bean. In fact, now that I think of Bean, Jason, I'm gonna think of Mr. Bean. There you go. I've got that visual. I got that visual now. All right. So Kenneth, it's real simple. All you got to do is just register. Just use the same email and same password and same username on all of the sites if you want to be a member of all the sites. Just simple. And we have 3 sites. We've got fasttraxtube.com. That's if you just want videos. We got Fast Trax System, which is going to be our new company website. And then we have the Sparky Hub, that type of thing. And each one of them you register for if you want to be a member of those. Okay. But like I said, if you want to keep it simple, then use the same email, same password, same username for everyone, and that makes it easy, right? That type of thing. So anyway, so here's where you register for this site, right?
Yep.
And now let's log in, and I'll show you what.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so once you're logged in, right, then that's when once you're approved as a Fast Trax member, then you will see this link here, right? And this link show you kind of what it looks like. So there's the Wednesday night link. So it no longer can disappear, folks. There it is right there. It's stickied. You click here and all the information to access it is right there, and it'll stay there. But notice here that I'm starting to add other things. Like here's the exam taking 3-wave method. Check this out, Jay. So I've added it in here now. So you can watch it directly from in the forum.
Shut up and sit down.
Oh, that's nice.
Right here.
In there. Now remember, when you sit for an exam, there's going to be a little introduction
Yada,
process
yada.
that you
So
have to go to. That
it's all
teaches
there
you
now.
How to learn.
All within here. So everything. So if a Fast Trax member wants to post a topic, check this out, Jay. All they got to do is click new topic, right? And put in whatever their topic is, question they might have, got an issue with unit, whatever.
Right.
They can pick a little icon, you'll make it look funny, your little guy laughing, you want to do a little fire or whatever, it doesn't matter. Allow more flexibility. Post your topic, and then down here, you post your information. Now, if you want to make it bold, and you just type whatever you want, you highlight it and you click the bold button. See, that'll make it bold. All right. If you want to increase the size, you just go over, you highlight it and go over here and increase huge, and it'll make it huge, right? And I'll show you what it looks like. Click preview, right? And there's what it looks like. See, bold.
Yep.
And it'll have your signature if you set it up, if you want, okay? However you want. And so you can create any topics you want. These are just some that we created. There's the unit. Oh, there's the derating demystified that people were asking about right there. Already loaded in here.
Shut up and sit down.
So
And it would
take
only
the
be
day
rated
off to
75 in the wet.
you're
And
gonna
a
take the
90
whole
in
day
the
off
dry.
if you're gonna be
Now, where do you
invested in
find
that
this
one.
information, by the way? You go to 3.
Oh, man, that thing is not, but how long is that thing?
Not half a day then.
Oh, my God, it's 3 hours. All right, well, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're gonna invest half a day in there. Boy, I am typically long-winded with my videos. But did you notice that I'm now doing shorter videos, 10 minutes, 15-minute videos on each separate piece? Right?
You know what's funny is I've watched that demystified video several times. So
Yeah. Wow, then you have a lot of time invested there.
yeah, it's nice. It's a good one. It's a good one. I mean,
And we
even
got-
for being 3 hours.
We're going to be doing I'm doing version 3.0 here at the first of the year, remember, because I've got
Nice.
some updates I want to add to it. So again, now the goal is to try to beat my previous time. So we'll see if that works out, that type of scenario. But anyway, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is.
So, for those that want to that say, what is the website? Why did we change to the website? Jay, did you probably somebody that's familiar with the old website? What are your thoughts on the new website here?
I think it has a nice, classic, just simple look to it. You and I were chatting before. We were comparing the old one to this one, and just the simplicity of this design that you've come up with here. It just, my focus, I can see everything on this page and scroll through it within 30 seconds, if that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the other one had so much, info that it was brain overload, right? And it was
Right.
more texty. So for here, for example, obviously you can get to the courses quick if you're interested in our courses. Their links are right here, right?
Yes.
And you got a little fluff down here. Why us? Blah blah. Everybody knows who we are. And of course, you got a navigation here at the bottom as well. Simple. Some of the neat features, though, Jay, is now check this out. You can actually get into your course from here instead of having to remember where to go. Right in there. And in the future, so might as well talk about a couple of the things we're doing in the future, Jay. So we're going to be creating courses on all of the topics specifically for people. Like, for example, there's going to be a course on raceway fill. There'll be a course specifically on this, a course in that. So for those that want, that maybe aren't in the Fast Trax program, or maybe they want to simply learn more about ranges, right? So we're going to have a separate course just about ranges. Okay. Now, the good news is I'm going to make all of those courses. You ready? You ready for this? All of those courses we create are going to be available to Fast Trax students. No extra pay, no extra money, no extra nothing. You're going to have access to those. And I made that decision. It wasn't a popular one here, but I don't really care because I do what I want anyway. So at the last time I checked, it was my name on the door. So, we're going to make that available to all the students. So this is going to be, and they're going to have certificates. It's going to be cool what you get at the end. And you see, we're going to have a race and see who can gather the most, who can earn the most certificates, that type of scenario.
Nice.
And then you can take them to your boss or your owner and say, dude, look, I'm invested. You need to take care of me. Look at this. I took a separate module on ranges. I took a separate module on this, a separate module on this. Residential spacing with 210.52. So we're going to have courses broken down. That way, I can dig deep in the weeds on each thing. Very controlled. Very controlled.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. We're talking, I mean, you talked about this. We were talking video-wise, hundreds and hundreds of videos that I got to produce. And I don't, it's, and then we talked about you wanting to add some content to some of them for different things. I mean, it's a lot, but I think it's the way. I just think it's the way. I have to go that way. And I think Ross said it last night in our stream, visual learner. Yep. And I need to cater to that. I mean, I have a good way of painting a picture mentally, but you need to add some more elements. It's a lot of work, but I think it'll make it better. I think it'll make it a unique product for people.
Yeah, I'm excited for the videos. I was even chatting with my guy Chris, who's my warehouse guy, here in Creighton. Like, as you can see, I got the storage on this side. I got it on both sides, but maybe even putting a little, wall, like grab some 2x4s from one of the basements that I'm doing and slap a couple 10-foot wall or something here and try to do something there too. I mean, I can go out to the field, but it's at times, but if you can do videos and explain what you're trying to do and have it visual to the viewer, they tend to grab onto that because they're seeing it done in the same platform or same design that they're going to go do it out in the field. Sometimes we sit on our butts in a cushioned seat and we're explaining it because we've done it a million times. I mean, how many service change outs have you done? Probably you can't even count, and same here. But when we're explaining certain code and certain installation whether it's tips or or manufacturer design or whatever it is out in the field, excuse me, it's sometimes hard to do if you don't have the product in front of you and you're explaining it. You know, I
Right.
mean, it just sometimes is a little difficult, even though you do amazing job painting the picture. I mean, phenomenal. Obviously, you've been doing it for years. The way that you're thinking going into the 2023, and the fact that it's a new code cycle.
Yes, 2023 is it always means that I've got a lot of work to do when it comes to explaining stuff. So, and I'm excited about doing it. It's just a lot of work, and it's just a lot of videos. Now, when I'm getting working, I think I told you last week, when I'm working and I'm in the studio and I'm making videos, I can crank out 10 videos at a time.
Oh, I know you can.
But if you start doing the math, 365 days in a year, if I've got to do 500 videos, then it's 2 videos a day. That would, and you're not going to work every day. So it's a little overwhelming, but we'll get it done. I'll get it done. It's just daunting task. But the new courses, by the way, they're going to be on the website. So for people that want to know how you access those, it's just like it was before on our new website, fasttracksystem.com or .net or .org. They all go to the same thing. Then what happens is the new courses are actually going to be underneath this tab right here. So these are the current Fast Trax programs. But under this tab, you'll have a category, and we will have the new course, the mini courses, if you will, the course on ranges, the course on receptacle placement, the course on GFCI. There'll be many courses with written content and video to support them. So, and it's all going to be something that you go through. So the Fast Trax students will have to use a code that we'll provide, right? Okay. Because they're paid courses. And we'll give the Fast Trax students a unique code, and they can check out, and it'll cost them $0. Right? Everybody else at a cost. Now, we don't know the cost yet, so nobody asked. But there's so many people that reach out to me that go, "Hey, Paul, I would love to have. I'm confused about residential 210.52, for example, all of the spacing rules and countertops and all this stuff." Okay, well, we're going to have a course that's it. That course is just on that topic, that type of thing, and that also is going to allow other educators like yourself to create courses. So what I'm going to be doing is have a creators forum, in that way that, you know, once a month I'll do a stream and explain to people how to create the course. And anybody that wants to become a creator, we will show them and give them access how to log in and how to create their course. Or they'll give us the course in the structure, okay? And then we'll upload it either way, that type of thing. But it allows them to have courses in there, and they'll be able to sell those courses if they want through our system, and they'll get the proceeds, that type of thing. But the key for us is to make sure we get some courses going, and that's, again, so picture this, and Michael is going to give me grief for this if he's still hanging around. I've got to create the courses. I have to create the videos. I have to do all that, and I don't know where I'm going to get all of this extra time, as time is a limited thing. All people know that I'm with Encore, so it's going to be tough. But Michael say he's still here, still listening. So yeah, it's going to be tough. Hey, Jay, have you got the new app yet?
Of course.
I don't believe you. You got your phone there? Show me.
No, I don't have my phone with me, actually. The wife's playing.
You know what? So,
hey, man, I gave her the phone and I headed out to the warehouse. Yeah, that's a good trade. I was like, hey, Here.
So that's the app right there. Some phones it'll download and just be a web page, but you'll have to look and see whether or not the little thing. Did yours come up and ask you to add it to your screen? A little pop up.
I believe it did.
Yeah. So you should, if you do it, you should get a little icon like right there on your phone. And see how that one says? Oh well, you can't see it. There you go. It says Fast Trax System.
Yes.
And it's my little devil.
Yes.
So that's there. But if you have a tablet, for example, you can actually access the tablet from the same link. It just will take up the whole screen like a tablet. It's really a website, that type of thing. And I don't know that the app works on a tablet. I think what was it? Was it Joseph said he tried it and it ultimately maybe it worked, but it wasn't designed to be for a tablet like that. It's designed to be for mobile, Apple and Android.
Right.
But you know, because most of the time with a tablet, it's just as easy to go to the website, that type of thing. The tablet view, the phone view is because it's designed to keep everything, tight tight on a small screen, right?
Yes.
That type of thing. But so I haven't tried to do it with the tablet yet. So I don't know. It'd be nice if it works, but at any rate.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know. So you can get to everything here. And like I tell people before, you can actually even get to the Cengage login from here now. If you have a problem with your Fast Trax program, whether you're in the green, the red, the whatever, you can click the support button from the app and it'll take you right to that support forum on our website, which is just for the Fast Trax products there, that part of it. But then when you want to go to the Sparky Hub, you click the Sparky Hub button, takes you right to the Sparky Hub right there.
Yeah, I think you should put something on there that says the Sparky Hub, I think, on that one right there, because that's what that is. And a lot of us are transferring over from the Sparky Hub to this new Sparky Hub, which was phenomenal. I like the Wix. I know you were having issues with it, and we were, it wasn't as simple as the one you're doing now. But I enjoyed the Sparky Hub over there. I enjoyed the 2,000, 3,000 people that joined us. And
well, we're hoping they come over to the new one.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
The only difference, like I said, was you could get lost in the thread. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody posted something, it literally would drop down, right? So I think I can show an example of that real quick. Hold on here. Let's see if I can even get there anymore. Hold on here. I don't even know if I can even get there anymore. I guess we all get there, so here. Oh, I gotta go to my own website to do it. So let's see here. So here, and typically scroll down to the bottom here and see this Sparky Hub link. This actually, I think, I don't think I changed the link here.
Okay.
On purpose until we were ready to migrate. So when you click it, it still brings up this, right?
Yep.
And so if I want to get into the Sparky Hub, I just click Sparky Hub. This isn't the private one. This is Sparky Hub. Now, this is nice, but
yeah,
you see how it keeps one topic here and you can't see any other topic. It's just constantly just one rolls right into the other, right? There's the new website where you can get the new app. But see, it just rolls one into the other. And so you really have somebody post something, you lose it, right? It gets lost in there. Okay.
It does.
Yeah. So there we go. We have 2,783 members in the hub. Right. So it gets kind of lost in the shuffle. And again, you got to, get down here. Now here's somebody that asks a question. Jose Ruiz 8 days ago, and it hasn't been answered yet because I literally didn't see it. It literally just got lost when I posted these other things. See how it just kind of moved down?
Yep.
And I don't like that, right? So if I take that question and I were to answer it in the new Sparky Hub, it's going to look totally different. So I type thesparkyhub.com. See, it takes me to the new one, right? And when you post a question, and let's see here. Okay, so I just did something in the NEC forum. And let's ask Paul. This is a sub forum, right? That you can post in. That's a sub forum. That's for the Let's Ask Paul questions if you want to ask me something directly, right? Of course, you can still go to paulabernathy.com, but there's that. Now, here's the normal topics. So I ask, when is your state going to adopt the 2023?
Yep.
Well, you could add another topic on your own. Right here, it says, explain this code reference or whatever. You can add any topic you want, right? But if you want to reply to my topic, or anybody wants to reply to somebody else's topic, you just click on it, read it, and you post reply. And you can keep adding to it. And when I come back to this forum, right, it will actually be glowing a color over here on the left to tell you that it's something new. Is there for you to go read, right? It lets you know that somebody has updated it, right? So let's see here while we're here, Jay. Let's go on and activate some folks. Let's see here. We got some people ready. Let me go over here. Jason B. I know who this is. So I'm going to go and add Jason. Let me log in. Jason, verify Jason here. So I'll go here and accept his account. All right. And I'm going to go back. All right. And then I'll go to forums. And I know he is in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know what he's in. So we're going to go to Fast Trax Student Forum. Let's see here. Am I getting this right, Jay? I did this before now.
I think you're getting it right.
Let's see here. Groups. All right. Manage groups. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So here's the students. I'm going to go down and I'm going to find Jason, because I already know he's a Fast Trax member, so I don't have to. He doesn't have to go through the process because I'm right here. I'll go on and select it. I'll select him. There he is, right there, and I'll submit. And there you go. There you go.
Nice,
Jason. You're right there. You've added to the forum.
There you go, my man.
Okay. So into the forum. So now when you log out, log back in, and you should be able to see this forum right here. This button. That type of thing. All right. For those that are logging in that I haven't approved, again, and you log in, and once you are approved, if you say, well, how do I get in the Fast Trax forum? Well, you got to be a Fast Trax student. You just go right here to the Fast Trax program questions and then click on this attention Fast Trax students and follow the instructions right here. And you'll be good to go. We'll get you all hooked up. I just happened to know, I just happened to see Jason do that, so easy for me to do it while we sat here.
Yeah, no, Jason, good job.
That's very hands-on, right? Because we want to make sure that we're only letting the Fast Trax students in. That's it.
Right.
So very, very much hands-on. Real quick, bear with me while I get rid of this thing that's making me.
Yeah, I'm on the forum.
Huh?
I'm on the forum, the Sparky Hub forum right now. Just kind of viewing it.
Hold on, let me get rid of this stuff here so I don't look goofy here. All right, sorry about that. I had to get rid of that autofocus.
Yeah.
And it keeps my color, so I look like I got some, flush. You look a little pale, but so anyway. That's easy peasy, and I think when people get used to it, it's going to be a neat forum. It's going to allow you to be able to post things, and and things and all this type of thing. Oh, another thing, Jake, people ask, how do I do images in the new forum, right? So if you want to post an image, so in the
Yep.
Fast Trax Black, let's say I'm creating a topic and I want to post a new topic, whatever it may be. You got a question, okay? If it's an image that's online, then all you got to do is capture the URL of the image, right? Means that you just right click and copy the path to the image and you paste it in here, right? You paste it. That was the invitation to you this morning. And all you got to do is once you do that, you highlight it and then you just click the image right here, right?
Yep.
And that'll paste an image. So that's if there's an online image, like maybe a code violation somewhere. Now, if you want to attach an image, upload from your computer, then you just come down here to attachment, click attachment. Now make sure that it's not over 256 kilobytes. Okay, so we don't want any too big. And then you click add file, and you can add a file that way, that type of thing. And not everybody will be able to do that. So right away, you might not be able to add upload an attachment because you just logged in and you haven't really done any posting yet. So that's our way of keeping spammers out, people getting in and then posting, images and all that. So there are some things that you have to be patient with, and then it'll let you do certain things. But that's how you do that, right? If you want to post a YouTube video of something you want to share with other people, all right, as long as it's remembering we don't want to share other educators that could get in trouble. Then what you do is you would click YouTube, and then in between here, all you got to put is the last part of any YouTube video, the numbers, not youtube.com / and then it's just the numbers the letters at the end. That's all you got to paste in here, and that will embed the YouTube video.
Nice.
So that's kind of built in there. You can make things bold by simply highlighting it and clicking bold. You can make things in italicized by highlighting and clicking italicized. Of course, you can always preview it. You can always save the draft for later.
There you go.
You can change the color of the text, right? You can add a link right here. If you want to link to something, a URL, you just click that and it'll add, you could put a URL to a website in there and it will actually add and make it a hyperlink if you want. Those type of things. You want to do bullet points, you simply just type in like yes, right? And then you go no, maybe, right? You simply highlight this one, click bullet point, highlight this one, click bullet point, highlight this one, click bullet point, and I'll show you what it looks like in the preview. See how it does the bullet point? So this is a text HTML. It allows you to add all this by the codes and flexibility, and I like it better than the previous one, the way it was. So a lot of customization you can do with it. You can change the size. I can go to large for everything, preview that, and you see it makes it larger.
Yeah, very cool.
From a little larger text, that type of thing. Again, you can also have it, if you go fill out your profile, you can have it add your signature so that every one of your posts has your signature, your company name, or whatever you want. There you go. And remember, other than the Fast Trax Black or Plus, any of the other ones that you publish are public. People can read it. So be careful what you post. Like here, the general discussion. And this is Brittany introducing herself, as I showed you earlier. So there's Brittany. For those that don't know what Brittany looks like, there's Brittany. She's 24, young Brittany. She's my son's soon-to-be wife, I guess, at some point in her life. But there's Brittany, and she did a little introduction about herself here. And encourage folks to go and introduce themselves as well if you want. Welcome to the forum. But there's just so much more you can do with this forum, and that's why that's why I like it. So a little more flexibility to do that type of thing. Now, the other one that people are asking about. And this one's going to be really neat when it's totally done, is the Fast Trax tube, right? So this is our take. It's a separate website. Still sign up for an account. Use your same information you do on all your other accounts. Make it easy. But you'll come up in here and you'll log in or sign up for an account. Just click here and you'll see that you can sign in right there, right? And in here is where we are going to have different videos, different training, and it's really podcasts will be up here. So here's some of the podcasts that you can listen to. We don't have them all up there yet. We will. But look at this. You can click trending, what other people are watching. And we have some series up here. This is where we're going to put a lot of the Fast Trax series. So here, for example, 2020, here you see is the entire collection of what we've uploaded for the 2020 NEC. This was some of those introductory ones. You remember these? Where we did the very beginning of the NEC where I explained the code to people. So they're up here. You click that and it'll load.
Shut up and sit down.
So the neat thing about this series is, you know, you can do all the likes, you can do everything you want. You can, you know, you can, here's another neat feature. Let's say the room is, all this stuff is really bright and you're losing attention. Click this button right here. It makes everything dark around it. Isn't that cool? So that's like you're in a theater, you know, and you can watch the video, you know, there. You can change the background color if dark is not what you like. Check us out. This is something we're doing on all of our stuff now. You noticed on the other site that it does that too. So if you can't see it, you don't like the contrast, then you can go with the white background, or you can change it back to a dark background, whatever you want. You can do notifications. You can mark to watch later. You can click on the video, and here you see just like kind of like a YouTube-ish look. You get all the videos here, right? That type of thing. So we're going to be adding more and more and more and more videos here. Now, this will also be subscription based where it's free. And then there's going to be a tier that people want to join if they want to get some of the private content, paid content, that type of stuff. Then that'll be here as well. So again, that's going to be subscription based if you want to subscribe and join. But you know, Fast Trax students will get access to all those videos as well. So, so yeah, so everything that we're trying to, even though it's a separate site, it's fasttraxtube.com. I recommend, as you've gathered by now, just use the same email and password and username for all of them, and then you don't have to remember anything except for your username and password. That's it. If you forget that, then the neat thing about it is this has a much better password recovery feature. So if you lose your password, you can get your password back a lot easier.
Right.
A lot easier than the old system, you know, that type of thing. So again, why did we do this? One, because I'm trying to get away from Wix. You know the story. And the system is just, to me, I control every aspect of it, right? It's our servers. I don't have to worry about Wix. I don't have to worry about it. And I can add modules and features and things that I couldn't do before. So that's the real reason. And again, it's to make it a little bit better. And you know, do you remember when I purchased the software to create the apps? Purchased the partnership with that. Obviously, that was a plan to have our own apps so I could get away from Wix's Spaces app.
Yes.
So it's all a plan. It's just things don't move as quickly as I like to move, you know, that type of thing.
I think it's growth too, you know, as you continue to grow ECA and hopefully next year get a new spot with a bigger room and more you know, more things you're putting in with all those videos. You have to kind of move out with the old in with the new type of scenario, you know. I mean, you just have to look at the pros and cons. And as a business owner, sometimes people out there may not like the choices I even do, because again, I'm kind of like yourself. I like to continue to grow, get really good at what I'm at, and get to the point where, okay, it's either stay where I'm at or maybe even take that next level. And I'm always trying to go up. And that just sounds like that's what you're doing here with this new system. So
Yeah. Well, we,
excited.
one of the big players, Jay, was that people were asking, I
Mhm.
don't want to buy the whole Fast Tracks. They said, I would love for you to buy a course that just talks about box fill. Or I would like,
Right.
or I want a course that talks about this or that, or I want something, pieces. So it made me realize at that point that we had to create our own infrastructure and get our own server setups and have everything in house.
In house. Yeah.
And it just made sense. So that's where we're moving. So look for a lot of rapid changes, coming. But I hope people embrace it and realize that the old website, to me, there was a lot of stuff there, but it was, for example, remember a post that I made that I said, people stop making multiple usernames and passwords.
Mm-hmm.
That was very problematic for that site because people would be forgetting their username passwords or come back and sign up a new one. And then when they purchased the program, they had to they used one account and then they come back and they would create another account. And when you would get a notice about the app, I don't know if you remember that, you get the account, but you didn't get the app. So you had to turn around and come back and sign up again. And if you didn't use the same information, it wouldn't tie them together. Problematic.
Yeah.
So now we don't have that issue. Now, I will say temporarily, anybody that signs up for the Fast Trax Plus, when they get their system, their email that gives them the login information, they're going to have to create an account over on the old site because that's where all the videos are right now. And I want to make sure that everybody gets access to what they paid for. But slowly, that will all move. And then we'll give the instructions on how to get to the stuff over in the new site, that type of thing. And we will keep track of that. We will know which customers are plus and which ones can have access to this and that. And we'll give you instructions and you just follow the instructions step by step. That way we can tie all the things together. So it is a little more work. It's not as automated, but that's okay. I prefer to have some hands-on part. Brittany will take care of that. I'll take care of that. We'll have some people that we'll bring on that's going to help take care of that as well. Moderators, we'll be adding moderators to the forum, that type of thing, so they can help out or moderate or whatever. And the neat thing about it is any questions that you have now, all you got to do is post it on our forum. If you have a question, you can use the forums on the fasttracksystem.com website where it says customer support. Do it there. But we'll also answer questions over on the Sparky Hub too. I mean, multiple locations to get your questions answered. That's the goal, right? That type of thing. So, but other than that, so how are you coming? Where are you at? CMECP? You what do you have? Only one test left, right?
About almost a quarter way done with my second test. So I still got to do that a little bit later today and this weekend, and then knock out the third one by Sunday or Monday, and I'll be sitting pretty. So I have 2 exams left.
Okay. 2.5.
Well, no, one and 3/4, really. Yeah, like 1.5. But
wouldn't it suck to tank it right at the end? I think we have to initiate. Hold on. I think I have to initiate the timer for these tests now. I got to introduce it. I think we're going to give you an hour to answer 100 questions. We're going to do it 1 hour to answer 100 questions. That's basically, you got to answer each question at 30 seconds. Just saying. No, we wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you.
Well, so here's the hard thing too with that is, and maybe it's a touchy subject, but what's hard about that is we're actually really not able to shift questions. You know what I mean? Like as if you were in like you could.
You mean mark it and come back?
Yeah, that would be the only thing I'd say. Hey man, if you're gonna time me, allow me to be able to gain some time on that first wave as like your 3-wave system. We were just
Yeah.
reviewing, it tells you that, right? That's your first thing. You say, hey, calm down. After you've calmed the nerves and you're in your seat and you're sitting down and you actually realize, okay, it's sink or swim time. That's when that you go through that first wave answering every question, and within 5 to 10 seconds, because they're all multiple choice, just boom boom boom, the ones that you can get that you can answer right away, and then you're saving time on that second and third lap. But no, I think right now with finishing up on the tail end of the CMECP, I feel I could probably go to any state and probably pass any exam right now, just because I'm in exam mode.
In that mode.
In
Who's
that
this
mode.
guy? Who's this guy on the CMECP?
Well, you can obviously tell he's someone who knows what he's doing, because that is a Fluke multimeter in his right hand that goes across to his left chest, like he's some type of stud muffin.
It still says CMECP candidate on it, so I don't know.
That's right. That's
I don't
right.
know.
He does have a pair of Klein Lymans in his left hand going across it. So that's a good looking guy right there, man. Knows what he's doing.
Sharp guy right there. So this site will also be changing. Even though this is a sharp looking site, it will be changing at some point as well, because this is also hosted on Wix, and we're getting rid of our Wixes. So, but for anybody that's interested and ask about the CMECP, there it is. And you simply go here and you hover over these links. And here's the equivalency. People know how you qualify. There you go, equivalency. If you're not a master, there is some equivalency. This explains why the CMECP. This is our mission. Here's some perks, things like that you can get through the portal. Benefits, member perks. Click on that. And there's a little perks video. And it talks about some pricing and stuff like that you can get when you become a member. That type of thing. And of course, there's the application. There, of course, there's the apprenticeship version, right? If you're a journeyman, you can get in our program as a journeyman. You got a whole year to do it. We have a couple new candidates that are in it that are actually in the apprenticeship program now. And so they're working through their Fast Trax normal, and their grades are still graded the same way. The difference is they got a year to do it, whereas you had 6 months.
Right.
So that's and then the other prerequisite is at the end of at the end of 6 months, at the end of a year or before the end of the year, they have to be a master. So they'd have to turn in verification that they're a master, and then they move right on to the 5-on-1, that type of thing, right? So that's got all this stuff here for that. Of course, here's the equivalency, and again talks about journeymans, and they will not qualify until they become a master, unless of course the state lacks a master designation. And then you got this other criteria here that you can use. And then of course, electrical inspectors and electrical plans examiners have this way to get in this way, right? And then of course, engineers that want to get in, they have a way to get in this way. They want to get in the program. They're not master. And then we have special exemption. And that is only bestowed on individuals that we verify who have made a commitment to the industry, and they can accept it if they get an honorary. They can request one, then they have to be verified, or we can bestow one through the board of directors. But at the end of the day, that's up to them to do that. We're not, right now I'm not seeking anybody. So if anybody feels like they qualify and you meet this criteria right here, and more than happy to, and there you go, CMEC Board of Directors will waive any of the required stipulations in writing and documented formation.
Yep.
So that's one way to do it. And of course, there's the application. Read it. This tells you everything that you need to know about the program, what the fees are involved in it, what the steps are involved in it, the exam process, okay, everything. And then there's your form you fill out, okay? And you buy now, and first thing you do is you pay the application fee so we can do the backgrounds and check your license and all this kind of other stuff. And then once you do that, you'll get your confirmation from PayPal or whatever you use. I guess it gives you option to use credit card too. And then down here, you fill out your information. and you go to the next stage, and it'll send us, and that's how you get started. And our mission, okay, the CMC program is not for everybody. I mean, we'll tell you that right out the bat. It is not for everybody. Only you in yourself have to determine whether or not it's worth it to you, okay? And then we feel it should be for every electrician, okay? But the program is designed to test your time management skills, validate your electrical code related knowledge as an advanced supplement to your established hands-on knowledge, and ultimately elevate your marketable status in the electrical trade along the journey. Some will succeed and many will fail. Okay? So not everybody can get in the program. Okay, that type of thing. So and then we have the CMECP button here, and this just takes you back to the main page. And here's the apprentice program for those that are interested. Right here, you can get information on that. If you want to ask questions, check us out, Jay. You can actually ask questions right here on the website. We have a feature that you can ask.
That's nice.
There. And of course, if you want to see what the apprenticeship program rules are, application, you just go under application and click CMECP apprentice. And all the rules are very similar, except for the stipulation and the amount of time and all this kind of stuff and all that kind of stuff. Same application, everything else is the same thing, right? And for those that apply, it is a multi-step process, right? Boom, boom, boom. And you got to do an interview. You remember we recorded yours. You got to do an interview and tell me a little bit about yourself, yada, yada, yada. I know most about you, but and then once you get your instructions, that's when we tell you, this is your time frame. This is it. Then you just get on out there and start getting it. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it.
So what did Jesus says? When I took the test, I think there was a question. It said, how long you have to be a journeyman before you qualify as a master electrician? So Jesus, that is one of those things that are inherent to your state. So you have to know the rules in your state. So a lot of the states tests will be, just on code. And then some states are going to ask you some questions like maybe even safety. They might even ask you local rules, things like that. And so you need to know what your state is. So whatever state you're in, then all you've got to do is read the information on that state. Remember, you can get all that stuff from our website as well, right? I don't know. I can't remember which state you're in, right? So maybe you post that and tell me which state you're in. And we'll go see if we can look that up. I don't remember exactly which one you're in. Oh, look at there. Hey. Yeah, she said it's cold. She said it's cold out here. Look at her. Okay. Idaho. All right. He just says he's in Idaho. Okay. So we'll go to the website. And remember here on the right, we've got this more feature. We go down here, licensing requirements. We'll click on that. And we'll go down here to Idaho. All right, here's Idaho. And it says journeyman. Okay. It says must complete a 4-year apprentice program under the supervision of a licensed journeyman electrician. Okay. This should cover the minimum of 8,000 hours of work experience plus additional 4 years. That's 576 hours of classroom work in an apprenticeship school. Okay. Masters. You must have worked as a licensed journeyman electrician for at least 4 years. Okay. And it says, if the license was obtained outside the state of Idaho, the applicant must take and pass the Idaho Journeyman Licensing Exam first. Right. And then, of course, you have some other requirements down here for these different licensing. And of course, you have limited electrical contractor licensing down here. Now, a worst case scenario, Jesus, you just go right here. You click on this button. And there it goes. It takes you to Idaho. Let me show y'all so you see it. So there's Idaho. Okay. And down in Idaho, You got all the requirements here. You just have to licenses. Okay, search for a license information. There you go. Here's some license information. And I can't remember exactly what your question was. How long you have to be a journeyman before you qualify for a master? So let's see. Here's the master electrician's licensing. And here's some information down here. And oh, here's where you download the application form. And so everything that you need should be on this page. And I don't click this because it won't let me share that screen, but it should have all the rules. And you got some FAQ. Let's see here. Under FAQ for, see where it might have, let's see, contractors. You got all this kind of information that you can get down here. So anyway, you can get there from our website. So here's an Idaho electrical board right here. You can get to all of the information here, the different members that are on the board. You can look at board rulings right here. Any board rulings you might have, everything. So you can get to all of this, right, from simply going to our website and coming to the website, clicking Ohio, and coming down here and clicking right here, right there. But it looks like to me, to be a journeyman, it gives you the number of hours. When it comes to a master electrician, you have to have at least 4 years. You're probably going to have to look deeper into the information to see if there's a hour requirement, that type of thing. Or here it says additional 4 years. It seems like that's equivalent to 576 hours. So maybe that's what it is, but that seems to be classroom hours. So, you know, you just have to go get the click on that link right there, and you can get all, and you should get the bulletin for that. You go right over here to more. This is on electricalcodeacademy.net. You go over here, click on that, go down here, click on licensing requirements, and go over here and choose Idaho. And then that's where you click on this link right here for licensing issued by. There you go. Okay. Pretty straightforward. So, all right, went outside. The glasses changed.
Yeah. The little kiddos out there running around. I had to go save her. We got about 12 inches of snow.
I did. Up, she's behind you. She's going to get some
Over
product
here
for install. She's going to do
Yep.
it. She's going to
Yeah,
get some
you can
stuff
see
for
the little
install.
puppy too.
Oh, look, there's the pup. Hey, mama, show the pup to everybody.
Yeah, she come show the little puppy. Hi.
So what's the name of this pup again? Nuisance?
This one is Piggies.
Piggy. Little piggy.
Yeah, and this little Piggies, little Miss
You
Piggy.
make sure you tell her I want to see more pictures of her holding up Zombie. Okay.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's a Zombie's a beast.
That guy's old and overweight.
All bulldogs are old and
Yeah.
overweight anyway. That type of thing. So yeah. So let's see here. What is it? What does Schwartzy say here? Got fly at some points. I should do some work. Oh, got a fly. He's out. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thanks. Hey, glad you could drop in on us, Schwartzy. Good to see you as always.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll see you probably Wednesday night. Though, did I tell you, Jay? Because you know what? You haven't really come to Wednesday nights in a while because you're too good for everybody there. But I was going to tell you the format that we're going to be starting in 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the new format is we'll start out by asking people if they have any questions. And then what I'll do is we'll go through something out of one of the Fast Trax products. You know, like we'll be talking, maybe do a session on 210.52. Or maybe we'll do a session on something, because you can grab little code out of it. What I want to do is make sure that we at least answer any questions that somebody has in the program, right? But then we'll just systematically pick separate little units out of the program and go over it. But maybe it benefits folks for me to do something out of the commercial, or maybe do something out of the grounding and bonding, or maybe do something out of our industrial, or maybe even theory night, that type of thing. So what I'm going to do is over in the new forum. So all of you out there that are members, you're saying, where do I find out about it? You better go over to the sparkyhub.com, the new one, and register. And then follow the instructions for me to let you in the Fast Trax forum, the actual link. And once I let you in, then you're going to see the topic each week. And you decide whether you want to come or not. So, again, everybody's got busy schedules, things like that. But maybe 1 week I'm doing something on receptacles, GFCIs, 210.8. And you might say, you know what? Hey, I want to fresh up on that. I'll join and join in. That type of
kind of do like open or not open, but like you're saying like lives when you go.
Yeah, Wednesday night. Yeah.
Oh, on Wednesday night. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for the last few ones. I've been I knock out that CMECP program, man.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I said you were MIA for a while in the Wednesday night sessions. But in all fairness for Fast Trax students, if you come every week and all we're doing is exam prep, then after a while, once you're past it and you've already got your license, what's the incentive for you to join us?
That's true.
So I think that we wanted to create this all-inclusive thing for Wednesday night. Not just, I want to see folks like Robert. Why would Robert? Remember Robert used to come all the time, and he aced his exam down in Texas, but we don't see Robert anymore. Life gets in the way, but if we have an interesting topic on a motors, or maybe we're going to talk short circuit and ground fault protection one night. And it also keeps the classes short, right? So I've struggled with that because you know how I can go 4 hours, 3 hours. But if I do a lesson, then I'm just going to do that lesson for that night, and that's it. But of course, answer any questions somebody might have on the program.
Right.
Because if you're struggling on a unit, I want to be able to make sure that you walk away, knowing. I mean, to me, Jay, what would you say is one of the biggest benefits of our Fast Trax program? I mean, you've used other courses, you've studied with other stuff. Would you say Wednesday night is probably one of the biggest benefits that people get access if you have a question?
Yeah, I think that's the benefit outside of the course that comes with the course, if that makes sense. Because obviously when you're not going to be doing the course on the Wednesday nights.
Right.
I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But outside of doing the course itself, yeah, of course, the Wednesday night open questions in the beginning are always good, and just to have you there as the instructor, and you're always there on time. You've been, I don't know how you've been lately as far as your time wise goes, but I know you try to keep it within 2 hours or so.
Yeah, it's been dragging into 3.5 hours, and I know people appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
But usually when you get towards the end there, everything's kind of dragging. So keep it, and everybody's time is, and I think also people think each week I'm like, I want to go back Paul's going to go on for 4 hours. So I want to keep the topics, every code is good for everything, but right. I want to make it so that the people that are in the Fast Trax red, the green, the purple, the yellow, the black, I want to make people want to come and enjoy it. And we have open discussions on all things code, everything, whether it's receptacles or replacing receptacles or arc fault or GFCIs or PV.
Right.
People asking all the time how to calculate the PV, and how to do, all of those allowances in 690.8 and all those 125%, or what does it mean when we say the 156% rule? And I want to open it up, but the key is I want people to be able to log in and say, well, hey, I wonder what the topic is going to be this week, and look at it and go, oh, that's of interest to me, I'll join. Or they're like, I'm only going to come because I got a question in my unit and I want to ask Paul a question, or I want to ask the group a question. But if you don't have any questions, right, then you can look at it and go, I don't really care about that topic this week. So, they like don't have to join, and try to keep it short. So
for sure.
Some of them might be an hour, some might be 30 minutes, some might be 2 hours. It's all going to depend on the topic each week. and I take requests. So if somebody wants to make a request on something that's in your program, then we will talk about it. That type of thing.
Heck yeah.
So, and I've got other resources too, right? I've got other courses that outside of ours that I can pull from to do a lesson on if we need to do a
Sure.
lesson. So I want to be able to share my entire library of material on Wednesday nights. And up to this point, I don't think I've ever done that. I mean, I know we did some voltage drop one night and we do motors and I did, but it's never really been kind of a structured, our course is structured, but Wednesday night was never structured, right? So, I mean, we do some Q&A and people like the Q&A where we look up questions. And so we still can have that, in the mix, but I want to be able to, so people can log in and see what the topics are for that week, that type of thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what, do you have any New Year's resolutions, Jay? Have you decided to do those? Or are you just like, what's the point?
No, as far as like personal wise, not really. Just kind of, just be there when the kids need me, and kind of just
That's the easiest stuff, right?
keep
Don't
it
don't
rolling.
make resolutions that we know will break, right?
Right. Yeah. And try not to do this one. But
Yeah,
I,
no, don't break that one. Okay.
don't break that one.
But
As of recent, the kiddo, he's driving himself to work now
that's awesome.
with mama's car. So that'll be a big change for next year. Is when he does, he's already making payments as well, and they're like half payments of the vehicle. So eventually, mama will push him the Jeep, which is nice because it has a bunch of safety features. Like if you're switching lanes, it has a blind spot detector
Yep.
that goes off. So that's a nice feature to have, especially for being a young kid driving solo, trying to get to work in time, whatever it is, or getting home after a shift. So that next year will be a pretty big change as far as getting another vehicle in the family. And
I'm telling you, I'm just gonna recommend Jeep Gladiator. Just
the
saying.
Gladiator. Jeez, we
Just
can't
saying.
forget all that.
Just saying. I love my Gladi. Just saying. See,
Try to
look.
get some type of SUV
Oh.
that has yeah. Look at that.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is
On
it?
your left side, left chest.
There we go. Right
There
there.
we go.
Gladi Life, baby.
Glady life, man. Right above right where the heart's at. That's
Mhm.
where your heart is. It's in that.
Mhm. Exactly. Oh, I told you I was playing plumber this morning, didn't I?
Yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah, it's fine. We had that cold snap where it got down to like 9 degrees here in Texas, right? And everything was freezing. But one of my anti-freeze faucets here we have with the stem in it with the little washer at the end.
Sure.
The spigot was leaking, and it was ice all down. So
Oh man.
but it was too cold for me to fix it. And to be honest with you, it probably what kept the whole thing from freezing is the fact that the water was still running. Probably kept anything from the pipes freezing because there was a trickle of water running. But that was my honey-do list today. I went out and replaced the washer at the end of the stem that goes inside of it, and those washers get compressed over time, and then that's if your spigot leaks, and that's what it was. So I had to fix that. So it was a simple plumbing fix. So I did play plumber today, and I just amazed myself that plumbers have it so easy. That's just an easy fix. How much would they have charged for that just to fix that little washer? It probably would have charged a service call, but I guess it's the same as your post the other day on TikTok where you went and replaced the receptacle cover, and you put what $75, whatever. Like you were like, or whatever it was, like ching ching, and I'm like, really?
$5.
People can't replace their own receptacle covers? I mean, come on.
That one, like you said, you still have to cover your gas. You still have to cover certain aspects of it, and if you're working for a service company, which I had recently played plumber as well, as went to Home Depot because my
That's right.
my
That's right. You
septic
had your
backed up.
yeah.
And so I went and got a snake, which I've done several times before. And this one, I accidentally got the 50-footer, not the 100. So I went in 50 feet and went in a couple times, pulled out, in and out, in and out. Nothing. So I ended up calling somebody and getting him over here, and the guy again, he was worked for Router 99.
Router 99.
Router 99 shows up, has a truck, has the snake, 100-footer, goes in several times, cleans that out, cleans up another little area, and then he said, "Well, you should probably have it looked at too. Put a camera in there and see what
Scoped it. Put a scope down that bad boy.
But he wasn't the scoper, so he had to call his buddy, obviously through Router 99, or schedule them another guy on call to get him over here to scope it. So now you got two guys, one service call, two guys. So it kind of turns into two different payments, because now I'm paying the guy who snaked the line one payment, and he's probably only getting a portion of that through Router 99.
I wonder why he wouldn't, a plumber. I wonder why he wouldn't have his own snake. They're not expensive.
Well, his own camera.
Yeah.
I just think it's a whole nother. I think it's a whole nother, for them. It's a whole nother department and a whole nother service, because this guy is only there to do service. He's only there to clean your stuff and get out, where the guy with the camera and scope comes in and he's got to do a full report, and he has to send an estimate over to Router 99, because what we found out was we had we think it's a rock, but we have an object right at the coupling about 50 feet out, protruding into it. So it's, the pipe is, 4-inch, whatever it is.
Right.
On the bottom portion of it, there's something sharp with an edge that's coming up, maybe
it sounds like, did they not clean their trench out when they put their piping in it? Didn't make a nice soft bed? Think about that if there's electrical wires and the weight of the earth pushing down on it. If it was a sharp rock, and then people wonder why they lose their service or lose something underground, because people don't prepare the bedding for their cables and conductors. If it's direct bury, people don't spend enough time doing that. So in your case, they put the plumbing pipe down, and you believe a rock is pushing up through the coupling?
Yeah, right at that joint. And I mean, you think this is a 70s home. Several people have been in and out doing renovations, whether it was putting in new sprinkler lines and those, kind of like what you're saying. Even though you put that just a sprinkler line in there, you're ripping up foundation dirt, and you're not probably compacting it down the way it should be. So, and then we got the guy who mows our lawn. He's got the big equipment that comes through, and it's riding up and down our front lawn. So you think about that existing pipe, because I want to say it's, the original. Over the years, over 30, 50 plus years, it's kind of settled down more and more and more. And that's where, just looking at the scope, I think it is a rock that's going up. And the guy sent us over a quote. So anyways, two points here is, one, the service technician came out. He's making a portion of that money that we paid them.
Right.
He did two snakes for us and solved the issue, which I think it was just a piece of cloth that wasn't allowing things to the water to flow, so it backed it up. Well, then we had the scope guy come out. He did that, and then we had to pay him, and he's making a portion of this service, which is good. And kind of back to what you were saying for the new year, as far as my New Year's resolutions, as far as a business owner, is to just one is to continue to grow. And I think we've done that by moving in one of my recent crew leads into the PM spot that I was in on the south end of town, because we kind of cover the north end and the south end. And I'm down in kind of the south end, Centennial, Aurora, Parker area.
Does that move you back into the office so that you can really focus on the business versus having to go out and do the hands-on? I mean, as I tell people all the time, the owners of the business, in order for a business to succeed beyond where it's just an owner doing everything, at your level, you're getting to the next level. It actually slows you down and hurts you to be in the field, that type of scenario.
Yes. Yeah, we're at to the point now where we're promoting within, and I've already had a project manager in a spot for a few years now. You've met him, Chris, to where Andrew, our up and coming PM, who's been doing it for the last month and a half, and now he's going to be salary this coming up year. And my PMs now get a percentage of all change orders. They get 10% of anything 500 or more. in change orders. So that's going to put
Making it,
$2 in their pocket.
giving them a little skin in the game.
Oh yeah, I mean the installers had most all the skin in the game, other than just the salary that we pay the PMs. Well, now with me stepping into the office and putting someone else into that PM role, I got 2 PMs, and Chris has been with us forever, very loyal. Andrew, I want him to kind of follow up under Chris, and they can work together with each other and the PMs, and really it just allows us to grow next year. And in order to have that growth, I'll be here in the office a lot, getting a hold of distributors, manufacturers. One, for example, is like Leviton.
Mm-hmm.
I want to become a distributor for Leviton, and I may even be switching out all my panels from Eaton to Leviton.
Aren't they a little more expensive? But we're not talking about the. There's a company out there called Span, right? And that has those electronic high end. I mean, dude, it's like 4 times the normal cost of a panel change. I mean, it's like we do a service change for $3,000. To put Span in there, it would cost you $12,000. It's just crazy. Wow. But everything is digital. You can control everything. I get it. But Leviton, there's not the ones with the white breakers and everything. Everything's white.
Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, they are. I was talking to my rep Jeff at Rexel, because Rexel does GE. All right, and a little story about us. I know I'm kind of getting off track of where I'm going next year, but this is just kind of
we're just chatting today.
When COVID hit and there was a shortage at a lot of supply house. Well, Cost Plus is one of our local family-owned supply houses here in Colorado. Well, they got 4 shops, and we shop with them quite a bit, and a lot of it's for our Eaton breakers and panels. Well, when the shortage happened, they got hit really hard. I had to find a way to keep up because the jobs are still coming in. As you notice with COVID, we slowed down a little bit, but then it started taking off. And so those ones there are the exact ones that I'm looking at. And I can even give you kind of a rough price of what we're doing. Well, we went to Rex.
Look. Okay, so this says, I don't know, do these pop-ups show up?
Yeah.
Okay, ground fault dual function, exceed UL safety standards, optional Wi-Fi or Ethernet connectivity. See, oh, wow, look at here. Plug on design, increases job.
Yeah, they got the plug on.
Technology ensures precise tripping even in extreme temperature ranges. Blindside power LED remains lit even when a circuit breaker is tripped. Easy identification. Wow. White enclosure, housing, circuit breakers, modern appeal.
Oh, wow.
Optional observation window in the cover allows at a glance operating status of all circuit breakers. Wow. Look, it's like a little window on it. That's a little clear window.
Yeah. So they have that. I was priced on a clear window or a non-clear one. Check this out. 23 minutes ago, I just got the approval. It's crazy we're talking about this. And you say, is it Leviton or Leviton? Leviton. Excuse me. Leviton.
Great company, by the way. When I was a member of NEMA, I like that they're stepping into this market because you got to remember they make switches, they make all these other things. But you've always got the big dogs, right? You've got Eaton, you've got Schneider.
Yep.
Right? Schneider just had that big recent recall.
Right. Square D.
You've got Siemens. And then you got GE. Right. So then you got this Span that's just really over the top. Now, I don't know. So tell me something, Jay. For those out there that are watching that are thinking about, okay, well, I'm used to Square D. I'm used to all that. So tell me a little bit about, have you installed any of these Levitons?
No, I've never installed this line right here. Never, ever. Have I seen it on social medias? Yeah, there's a guy, Tony Sparky G over on Instagram that I follow, and he classifies himself as the Leviton King. And he's always, the guy is, I'm telling you what, I don't know how I don't know how this individual. Well, I do because he works his tail off, him and his son. But I don't know how he does so many social media posts and keeps up with his work because he does track homes and
It's like me,
busy
bro.
guy.
It's like
Busy,
me.
busy guy.
It's like me, bro. You have to really focus on your time
But
management.
stop right there. You see that middle picture where he has a breaker in his hand? He's putting that on
Yep.
a rock and lock panel that none of those conductors, whether they're the ungrounded or grounded conductors, even make up to that breaker right there. That breaker can you don't have to like. I don't want to say this that it's easy for a homeowner to do it, but
you could trim out this panel and rock and lock the breakers in after the fact. You don't have to connect them to the breaker.
Yeah, you don't have to connect any of those conductors to any of those breakers, which I thought was cool. And they have the Wi-Fi symbol too that kind of lets you know if one gets tripped. They have like a power consumption, so you can see.
Now, my brother's big on that. He has those things those little CTs that you clip over.
Yep.
And he monitors his circuit use and all that. But so I'm interested here, Jay, because I love the fact that Leviton's getting into this game.
They're in it.
I think that's sharp looking.
Oh my goodness, isn't that clean, my man?
Smart breaker. Let you know what each breaker for each circuit's doing. Oh, that is so. So let me ask you a question. And they got loads outside. They got, look at that main breaker, that sexy white main breaker. So let me ask you a question. Wonder how much are they competitive? So that's my thing. So you're a contractor. I mean, you got to be competitive. So are you gonna be selling people on the? Are you going to be selling people on the fact that you can get the Wi-Fi, that you can see which consumption? Are you going to be selling, which I think kind of are neat, but not that big a deal? I'm going to pay for the power anyway. Yours like the demand to be able to get them. But I guess my question is, when you're laying it in, you don't have to put the conductors in there and wait. You can go on and land. You're roughing that in. You can go on and instead of just taking the neutrals and land them, you can go on and land the hot conductors too, and just make sure you keep track of where it is and land it so that when you come back, all you got to do is just pop breakers in. That's going to save you time.
Well, for us, to be honest with you, we pop breakers. We pop all breakers in on the ref 99% of the time. Oh, yeah. And that's just because trim, if there is a breaker that's needed, it's only one or two that needs to get sent out on the trim.
Well, I always worry about it from my perspective was because I know that people come along later and paint and spray. And if I leave breakers in there and I try to tape it off, it's my responsibility. If I rely on somebody else, then they're going to spray paint. They're going to get crap all on my breakers. And so I was always paranoid about it. I just wait and do it after the rough in. And when I'm coming back to the trim out, that's when we put the breakers in. If we put them in right away.
Yeah, we put them in right away on the rough. 90% of the time, if not more, the panel box is in the mechanical room, which won't even get gypsum board or paint. So we breaker everything out right then and there, and we use. So we have the rock and lock. So kind of exactly what we're looking at, but maybe this is the Eaton that you were kind of talking about earlier, right here. This is the Eaton 20 amp dually. Because again, we stock these, and you can see the green symbol. Oops, on this side, it's the rock and lock, kind of the same style that Leviton is.
But with that one, don't you still have to connect the wire to the breaker?
Yep, kind of look right into there, and you see the white dot. That's your grounded. That's your neutral.
Okay.
They kind of make it simple for you. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've gone and to a job and they reverse them. Whoever's installing it still reverses the conductors, but.
So with the new with the Leviton,
well, look at that.
Yep. So with the Leviton now, you're going to be able to just take them both to the bus, and then it just snap in the breakers, so you can get that dual function. You just snap it in there, and it's done.
It's done.
That's pretty cool. Now, pricing wise, is there a premium for these? Are these going to are they going to be a lot more expensive than Eaton's CH top line? Or is it very competitive? Have you gotten that stage yet?
I haven't really got to that stage as far as like accurate, like, hey, this is $5 more. But to be honest with you, by looking at the price that I got from, hold on, let me see here. Where is he at? I have to take a
Now, will you be buying
Probably
those?
good, yes.
Will you be buying them from Leviton, or when you be a dealer, or you have to still go to the
Well,
supply house?
here's what I was just trying to tell you a minute ago too, was within the half hour, Leviton. I'm saying that right, Leviton. Yeah, I got
Leviton. Yeah.
Sorry, I always said Leviton, but Leviton. They just contacted me, responded to my dealership, and they approved me. So as of right now, I am an official dealer. So I'd imagine the price that I just received 2 days ago from the guy Rexel, the supply house. I hope I'm going to get a better deal than what he was sending to me. But even then,
Give me a price. What price? Give me a breaker price. What did he give you a price? I don't
yeah, he
put you
did.
on the spot,
He gave me a breaker price. Let me look here real quick. Okay, so for the 15 amp. Now, I don't believe these are the smart ones. These are just straight standard. These are not the ones that connect to the Wi-Fi. These are just.
But does it plug in the same way?
Yes, everything. The design is the exact same. So, but we're not. It's just like this right here. The same thing with this guy.
So, but you're still going to just go to the bus. You're not going to go to the breaker with those.
No, everything's designed the same. I'm just saying this is not the one that
It just doesn't have the Wi-Fi part. Okay.
Exactly. So this
What's
is
the cost? What's the cost?
Okay, 15 amp Leviton AFCI breaker 4902. $50. Okay.
So wait a minute. What's the cost of a 15 amp breaker for Eaton or Square D? Isn't it like $8?
Oh no. Well, these are AFCIs. These are not standard.
Oh, okay.
AFCIs,
I thought you said 15 amp, just a regular 15 amp breaker. Okay.
Nope, it's one of these guys. Got all my breakers close to my one of these guys. 15 amp arc right here.
Okay, so what does that cost you from Eaton? It's got to be fairly close.
I want to say it's like 44. So maybe the Leviton is $5 more. I have to get down to that. I know the dual function.
Well, that was the deal. That was from the supply house, right? So clearly, the dealer's price is going to be less. I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
Right.
I mean, really, what's the point? I'm not going to become a fanboy of Leviton if I've got to go and buy my prices at the supply house for the same damn price as becoming a dealer. What's the benefit?
Right. Exactly. So that's where I'm still kind of letting this whole, first of the year go through. I just got approved. I'm going to jump on their site.
So the question is, Jay, is the white look and all that look, is a sexier white look like that, is that worth the extra money?
I think if
to the customer, remember you're selling to the customer, and customers like sexy looking new, right? Don't they?
No, I'm not into it for the sexy looking. More than I'm into it is if I can make a profit on this, because any business, if you're in business for yourself and you want a New Year's resolution that you want to come up with, or you don't want to come up with, you want me to come up with it for you, is to be more profitable. I don't know what that looks like to you.
But how is that more profitable if you can buy one from Eaton for 44 and this one's going to cost you 50? That's not more profitable.
That is not more profitable, and just kind of like we discussed, this is from the actual supply house. So now that I'm a dealer with these guys, maybe I a little bit more skin in the game. Maybe I can get more competitive prices and get lower, because at the end of the day, if the price of this Leviton isn't lower than Eaton, then obviously I'm not going to make that change, right?
So if the new price is exactly, so question.
Yeah.
If the new price is exactly the same as Eaton.
Yes.
Are you ready to drop Eaton and go with Leviton? Because with Eaton, you can become an Eaton certified contractor, and they get discounts off of those prices. Of course, I helped start that program years ago. I was their educator for that, going around the country teaching that program. So ECCN dealers, I think they pay like $1,000 to be in the program. But I think the more they sell, they get discounts off of the regular price. So they do get some discounts.
Right.
But then that means they're the Eaton ECCN dealer. They get the logo, yada yada yada. But if at the end of the day you're doing the same thing for Leviton, of course, but Leviton also has switches and a bunch of other stuff as well, right? So obviously, I would think when you join dealer, you're going to get part of that whole family thing. You can get everything Leviton. You would think.
Well,
So
I use them. I use them right now. So here's where I'm at with Leviton and Eaton is with Cost Plus. That's the Eaton. With CED, CES, that's Eaton. Mostly Cost Plus though, and I get the special pricing. You know, the whatever it is, the Gold Star package. But again, I'm going through a supply house that one of their suppliers are Eaton, and they have other suppliers too. Whereas with Leviton, it sounds like I'm going to go strictly through them. So, and I'm not saying I couldn't with Eaton, but I just filled out the application
I wonder how that's going to work.
yesterday.
I wonder how that's going to work if you go straight through Leviton, because obviously they sell to those supply houses. So when you need your stuff, are you going to have to order it from Leviton and then wait for it to be shipped to you?
I'm not there just yet. That's where this whole process is going, and that's kind of like my.
Or do you go to the supply house and say, hey, that $50 you want to charge me, you can't charge me that because I'm a Leviton dealer. This is the dealer price.
I think they would have something in their system that shows that. Maybe, I'm not sure.
But they still got to make some skin.
Yeah, of course, everybody does.
So $50, they're making something. So
yeah, which I'm losing something. Whatever they're making off of me, then I'm losing. So,
yeah,
and
hopefully the dealership, if it's direct, then you get to cut out that middleman.
You got to cut out that middleman, and you kind of build that relationship with them, going, hey man, I've been in business now 10 years. We're looking at doubling in size. This is what I bring to the table. This is however many panels I'm going to need a month. I can kind of give you a general breakdown of how many breakers I'm going to need. Now with 2023 coming out and the GFCI requirements and that we're going to be discussing, that's going to be more.
That is the good thing about you at your system and all, because you do kind of have a good understanding of how many dual functions you're going to need, how many panels you're going to need. So you can make a investment in that, kind of like you did with the recess and like you did with the GFCIs and and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of can order knowing what you've got coming down the pike, that type of thing. Whereas some people, that might not work. They're just going to have to go to the supply house and get what they need when they need it, that type of thing. So the dealer thing sounds like it works, better for you.
So let's go back to what you asked me. You said, I think so too. The dealer is a way to go. At least get your foot in the door. Back to what you asked me. You said, hey, Jay, if all the prices are the same, are you willing to make that jump? Right? Are you willing to jump over? And I would get a panel or two, those white ones, maybe even a few of them with the breakers per job, just for those jobs. And I would review with the crew lead and the project manager running that project after it's all said and done and go, hey, what did you guys think in comparison to the Eaton? Right. What's the benefits? What's the pros and cons? Would it be worth making a change? Obviously, if the supply is in stock, recently, I just told you not too long ago that I just received 10 of these 2-pole 50s.
Right.
And I asked them again, when's the next product or when's the next shipment coming, just in case? And it might not be until June or July.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if I fly through those, then I'm kind of back of the bus again, kind of waiting on back orders with whoever paying a premium price for a 2-pole breaker, double off Amazon or someone who's selling it on black market, if you want to call it that, on the low for double the much, because they know they can get you. So again, there's a lot of factors in here. And
is that why you bought a bunch of those, so that we can wait until everybody's out and then you can go on eBay and all that and try to double your money on those? Is that why you did that?
No, I bought a bunch of them because I have a few projects that need, like 4 of those are already accounted for. So then that leaves me with 6.
Those were the GFCI ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do they call? What's the cost on those 50 amp GFCIs? You remember?
Right, so let's go into the cost for this guy right here, the Eaton. Depending on what supply house and what day it is, and the side of the bed of who woke up on, you're probably going to pay anywhere between $130 to $170 for this guy right here of the Eaton brand. And so now we go to the
So the
Leviton.
2023 code now requiring all those GFCIs on locations where they weren't required before, on ranges,
Whether
on
it's
wires, which
hardwired or
is
not.
30 amps. I can't imagine they're much cheaper. 30 amp GFCIs. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, I don't have the numbers in front of me here. Let me pull up
But
my.
I would say that those are 150. I mean, you're looking at close to $100 for a 30 amp GFCI. Just man, code changes has increased the cost. Those manufacturers knew what they were doing, didn't they?
Well, that, and then also the effects of the economy where supply and
Yeah.
demand is shortage.
Yeah.
We people are hiking them up, and like you said, what what are these guys just out of business? Did they just
I
shut
don't
down the
understand.
whole
It's not like
plant
they're
for like
not.
a year?
It's not like they're not still producing. I mean, they're paying their employees. Where's the shortage from?
Where's the shortage from?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm telling you, but I've used every resource this year in 2022, meaning all the supply houses, and some I had to come out and I hit my line of credit. Maybe it was QED who sells Siemens. I don't do much Siemens except for maybe existing panels. Well, or even now I quote around my SER stuff like that. I kind of give everybody a shot at that. Well, we just recently did an order with them with the SER, and it was over my account. My account limit was like 2,500, and so I need to start it this year. I'm going to focus on increasing my account limits with some supply houses, and also my what do they call it? Like cash flow. My line of credits on the business side of things, whether it's with the supply house or the bank or whoever it is, I need to get these things increased with
Right.
my interest rate down. That's how you make profit with. That's how you kind of start making profit without even investing money. It's just how much money are they giving you? What's the percentage they're giving it to you at, and can you grow it with the less percentage? And so that's one way that I'm going to try to do this year, as far as making profit, like I was telling you about.
So now are you getting what are some of the are you expanding more? Is 2023 expansion? Are you adding audio visual? I know you talked about that, doing more of the, adding to your existing stuff for basements, like adding, now I'll do surround sound or I'll do audio and stuff like that. Cause I think you got some, deal going with that too. Are you going to be offering that?
Yeah,
And
I actually.
what's the status of your landscaping? Adding landscaping, lighting, and all that to the no, still not on that.
That's 2024,
Okay.
2025. I haven't gotten there yet. That's kind of with the jellyfish lighting. When I get to that kind of concept, I kind of may jump into that. But for what you're talking about with the low voltage, hey, I'll still run a dedicated circuit out there, 20 amp, charge you, $200, and get that single gang bell box outside with a blank cover on it, and you got power.
They want to add the transformer, and they want to add the transformer and do it. They can do it.
They can do it. So, and I think that's with our mindset of going into next year with changes and the options for everybody, and kind of really just making as much profit as we can on one project, is kind of having those upsells. And that's kind of why we went with that 10% to our PMs starting the new year, is because now I think I did the math. If they average 300 a week, that means they have to sell $3,000 worth of change orders in a week, and usually they do 2 to 3 jobs a week times 52 weeks. I believe it came out to like 15,600. 15,600 on top of their salary already. So you're making that at just $300 of change order. So you got you do $3,000 worth, 10% is 300. That goes on your check.
Mm-hmm.
You're making
that adds up. That adds up quick, right? Because you do. If they want to add some circuits, so they want to add something extra, they want to add, so any type of audio visual or any type of anything like that. You're doing that, right? Stereo. You told me the other day you were doing a stereo system or something.
Yeah. So we've been dabbling in the low voltage and trying to expand in that area. And one of my contractors that I sub out work to, Tony, him and his son, that's what they specialize in is low voltage. So I told them, I said, listen, man, let's make it simple. I have a lot of low voltage walks in with these basements. You know what I mean? Probably maybe 50% of them. Well, if I'm doing 200 basements, that's 100 basements.
Low voltage.
Yeah, like low. Well, in the residential side, when we say low voltage, usually we're referring to the
Well,
Cat
actually,
6,
low voltage is. We had a funny last night. Low voltage, anything that's 2,000 volts or less is called low voltage.
right. Well, when you're talking code talk,
Mm-hmm. But we're talking J talk. So
well, we're talking out in the field talk is what we're
Right.
is what we're kind of talking. So yeah, low voltage.
right. So
Low. Get low. Hey, the lower we get, the more money we make. So so that's our goal. So I have Tony. I talked to him and his son. I said, listen, man, we got to walk on the 3rd. It's on the Tuesday. We're in it for the low voltage as well. I'll have my PM walk the electrical side of it, get there an hour early before you, kind of get dialed in, and then you come in and do your low voltage, and then we work together. And what I'll do with him now, because the low voltage is separate than the electrical, is I'll make a deal with him where anything he upsells or anything on that change order, that low voltage, I'll provide the product, whether it's TVs, mounts, speakers, surround sounds, receivers, whatever it is, through his vendors, and get those connections, and I'll split profit with him on that job. So if it's a $10,000 job and we got $3,000 worth of material that I'm going to provide, that leaves us $7,000 profit. I'll cut that with him in half, and I'll keep giving him the jobs at no cost. Obviously, he can do all his raw 3, raw 2, his speakers, everything like that.
Are you giving up to the customer, or are you giving it to the? I know you work with the builder.
No, this is for the customer side of it.
Okay, so will they get an a la carte list of options, things they want to add?
However, he'll show up with his booklet. Tony has a certain booklet that shows all his products that he sells and the vendors he goes through.
How do you sell that when you're doing your meeting? If you're doing your meeting with the customer, what do you say? Hey, I got another guy that I'll set you up with if you want to. Do you have to initiate it? In other words, in order to even get him involved, do you have to tell the customer, hey, are you interested in TV mounts or all this other stuff? Do you have to initiate that? Because how does Tony get involved in it if you don't initiate it? Because it's your customer, right?
Yeah, hold that thought. I gotta take a quick potty real quick and hold that. I'll be right back.
All right.
Do the commercial break thing.
We don't have a commercial break thing, right? So we'll just have a me thing. He had to do a potty break, okay? Right in the middle. Man can't hold it. Do like most people. Have a bucket right there beside you, or maybe even a bottle or something. Or do like I do on long videos where I have a catheter and you just go while you're doing the videos. You ever see me teaching something and I just start smiling? There you go. I'm just going. I'm just saying. That's what you do. You gotta, not really. It's not what I do, but I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I like the look of this Leviton stuff. It is. But they got a lot of stuff. If you look here, residential, industrial, commercial, outlets, receptacles, ASCI, wall mount. I like, smart switches, dimmers. So this is kind of fan control speeds, timers, networking stuff. So this is kind of one of those things where people look for a relationship where you can get a bunch of products. So you got receptacles, you got switches, you got panels. If you can get it all at a good price and it's very competitive, then why not? Leventon may take care of you better than some of the other big dogs that would take care of you. I don't know. Eaton always took care of me fine. I always used Eaton, but I had no problem with Square D at all. I really don't. I have never done the span, right? And it makes me think, let's see, what is the span? Let's see here, www.span. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Let's see here, www.span.com. That don't even look like it's it. So let's see here, span electrical panel. Let's see what we got for looks here. Okay. Span smart panel. Okay, well, let's go here. Oh, they're doing the IO thing. All right. So this is span. Up, Jay's back. There you go. There's a quick potty. So this is span. It's kind of neat looking. It's wired, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, cellular, and your internet is down. It has cellular connection.
Hey, there goes one of the brothers on
Yeah, overrated. Let's see.
HGTV. What's
There's
that?
there's Span, first EV charger from Span. Install. Oh, you go. Installers and partners. You can become a partner there. Business opportunity. Panel. They have their stuff there. I don't know. It's just it looks expensive. Now, the only thing I will say about them, Jay, is that the beautiful thing about Leviton and getting something that's smart like that is that with Leviton, they make all these other products: switches, receptacles, covers, smart switches. So you kind of get a family of products. With Span, it's just very limited, right? So you still got to go hunting. So when you do something like that, it's nice to be with a company that's going to give you, more stuff, more options, that type of thing.
Yeah, you definitely want to, especially if you're going to kind of partner up with them and sell their product and put your company behind it, because when I do Leviton, it's going to be Wired Up's name behind it as well, and so we kind of go in together knowing that we're going to install their product, try to upsell, all their fancy stuff, the smart devices, again, for all these upgrades, all these change orders. The for my guys, they're getting a percentage of it, so they're going to want to upsell this stuff, and they're going to want to upsell something that they stand behind. And actually, it's really not even upselling; it's just offering the customer what's out there that they don't know. No, a lot of us electricians, especially the old timers, no disrespect to you guys out there, man, but you guys don't want to change. You guys want to install the same stuff.
No disrespect to you guys.
Hey, for all the guys out there that are old timers that are running their own businesses, kind of like what you were saying, maybe it's them and their son combo or whatever it is.
Yep.
They don't want to change.
Right.
They're still stuck. They're the guys. Listen, there's a very selective few, but they're the guys that don't get new code books. They still rely on their 1980s code book and stuff like that. It's like, hey, bro, evolve with the changes, man. I mean,
it's funny story of electricians that won't change. I had an email come in from a third-year student who works for a company, and he went to install his grounding electrode conductor from his panel down to his electrode, and they actually sleeved it in aluminum raceway or aluminum conduit. And the owner and everybody come back to him and said, you got to bond it at both ends because of a choke effect. And he tried to explain to him that aluminum raceways are non-ferrous, that the rule in 250.64E1 only applies if it's a ferrous metal, which means steel with iron and all this kind of stuff. It creates a magnetic choke, and you have to make it complete from electrode to the grounding electrode conductor to the raceway up to the panel. You have to make it all act as a complete system so that the current doesn't divide and cause a choke effect. Well, the owner was like, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. That you've got to connect it, make it complete. And he's like, no, that's not what it says in the code. Code says that it only applies to a ferrous raceway. And so he sent me that email, and I responded back, and I said, sometimes old people get so locked into stuff, and they get so, this is the way I'm going to do it, and they don't want to learn anything new. Aluminum raceways are not ferrous. They don't have to be complete like that. In other words, I could come out of that aluminum raceway, come down to the end, come out of the end of it with my grounding electrode conductor, and go right to my electrode. I do not have to bond that raceway to that grounding electrode conductor. Now, back at the panel, it's still got to be bonded in case it gets energized and touch it. And that will happen when he makes it connect to the cabinet. But you're not connecting it because of choke effect. That only takes place with ferrous raceways. So anyway, he didn't want to listen. And I told the guy, I said, sometimes you just got to walk away. just, sometimes it's not worth the argument. If
Yep.
people don't want to learn, and then the guy said, well, and here's what the owner's response was. Well, if you drop a magnet down it, see how slow it runs down it. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It's non-magnetic. It's non-ferrous.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got a different level of surface friction on it. I don't know. But it's not a Ferris raceway. And if it's not, the code says you don't have. Now he's saying, well, code's minimum. Well, that's when people start imposing what they believe to be true, but they have nowhere that they can actually prove it, right? They just believe that's what they believe and that's what they require, and that's it, right? A code making panel and submitters would not put a sentence in the last part of that saying that you don't have to make it electrically continuous when it is a non-ferrous raceway. And aluminum would be non-ferrous. That's no different if it's PVC. You don't bond the PVC, obviously, for whatever, obvious reasons. But it obviously that's non-ferrous as well. So can you do it? Sure. Are you required to bond it at each end and make it continuous? Not if it's non-ferrous. But the point was, the older electrician owning the company, obviously he wants it done his way, and that's whatever. But it wasn't necessary. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know anybody who uses aluminum raceway anymore. I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever done it. I've seen people say it's tough to bend and not kink. I don't know because I've never been any, but I certainly wouldn't use aluminum raceway because I'd have to go out of my way to buy the aluminum raceway. I'm just using I'm using PVC Schedule 80, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. That's
so. But anyway, that was what I'm saying. People don't want to change. All right, so back what were we talking about before you left?
Oh, we were talking about Tony and the scheduling for the.
Oh, yeah. How does that work? If you're walking with a client, how does Tony get introduced into the equation?
So Tony is one of our subcontractors who does the electrical side for us. He's been helping us out for mostly about 6 months now. Really good guy. It's him and his son.
So the main thing, he's not just an AV guy. He's doing your electrical. He's subbing your electrical too. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, like on this job, he'll do the electrical and the LV. My project manager, Chris, sets everything up with, once these jobs come through, he contacts a homeowner, sets up the date and the time. And then I just relay that message to Tony. Say, hey, Tony, you have a walk at this time on this date.
Well, how does the customer know what they want? In other words, obviously they know you're doing the basement, but who's the one that puts the little bug in their ear for these upgrades? Who's the one? Because I wouldn't want Tony and them trying to sell the upgrades. So I would be my PM. That would be,
No, for the low voltage side, we do want Tony and them to do the upgrades.
Not do them, but I'm talking about sell them.
Well, I'm sorry, sell them. Yes, we want Tony and them to sell the low voltage upgrades.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wondered how that initially, because I'm thinking about when I used to do when I would do a basement finish out. I met with the customer. We did a walkthrough, and this is what they want. But it was me to say, here we have other services if you want them, because if that's the time they're thinking about having everything done. I'd say, well, we do AV, we do surround sound, we do this. If you're interested, we do intercom systems. Back at the time, we did what was called A-bus systems. We did all that, but I would initiate that to them, and I had a little list, of all the stuff that we offer. So I'm just saying, when you meet with a customer or your PM meets with a customer, when Tony and them would come out there to do the electrical, is that the time they ask if they want the extra stuff? I mean,
no, we do the walk. So one contractors of ours, they'll put it in our scope of work. They'll say low voltage.
Oh, okay. So
you're doing
the
electrical.
Customer already knows. So the customer from their customers, like one of your basement remodeler, contractors, they'll have it. The customer already knows up front that you have these services available.
Yeah, and so what was happening, and the reason why I wanted to get into low voltage as well is because I do so many darn basements, and we got a good system down on the electrical side. Well, what was happening is the customer would say, hey, I got to meet with the low voltage guy at 2:00. Well, this may be at 8 in the morning. So we're trying to get our electrical done. And then then once our guys get in, we do our changes or videos, whatever, get them rolling. Then the guys send me a thing. Hey, we got to do a change order for this low voltage because they're adding this plug here and this plug here for the subwoofer and all this other stuff that they provide. Well, I'm like, I can provide that stuff. You know, I
Right.
can run those cables. I can,
Well, it's
you
like
know,
we said, you want to, I mean, it's just business. You want to squeeze out everything that you can get out of the basement. I mean,
I want to be a one-stop shop when it comes to the electrical side of it. Not so much the plumbing and mechanical yet. Don't even know if I'll ever even cross that, you know, bridge of the trifecta, whatever they call it. You know, when you got one, you know, licensed contractor in house for all three skilled trades. But this was just going, hey, how can we help the customer as well? You know, because if we're on that morning walk at 8 a.m. and we're doing an electrical walk and a low voltage, the customer is doing one walk in 1 hour or 2 hours, and we're knocking out two jobs or you know, two phases of that of that basement being the electrical and the low voltage, because that's what, or low voltage, because that's what we classify that as. So if we can come in and knock out both of them, why not? And that's where Tony comes in as well, because he's a dealer for a lot of these speaker companies, a lot of the people in Denver, TVs, mounts. I've got my foot in the door with a couple of them as well. But you know, next year too, one of my goals for next year is to use my resources and have a list of them and kind of get myself out there to introduce who I am and what Wired Up is and how we can work together to, at the end goal is to make money.
Right.
Everybody is in it to make money. You don't go to work to not make money. And as you guys know, my motto is cut costs without cutting corners. So I don't want to cut corners. I don't mind paying people a good fair wage price to go make the company money. And so that's where we're at. The other contractors I know I have the low voltage because they're little small guys. And that's something that, you know, if I can walk those ones or my PM walk them without Tony, and so be it. But if Tony and his guy or whoever the low voltage guy is, listen, by the end of the next year, I could have 3 or 4 different low voltage subs. I don't know yet. I don't know where this is going. I just know that I want to expand, and in the low voltage area, this is an area where I can expand.
Yeah, there's the old saying is there's no reason to leave money on the table. People want it. If they want it, they'll want it. If they don't, they'll say no.
Exactly.
You're not twisting their arm, you know. You're like, hey, we've got this. If you want it, you want it. Some people say, well, is that, you know, ethical to try to get as much money as you can out of every basement? And I think absolutely. It's up to the customer to say whether they want something.
Right,
I'm not forcing it down their throat, but if I can offer it, right, then I'm here to make it happen if they want it. That type of thing. Everybody has the option to say no.
You get to the point where you're really not upselling them more than you're just offering them what services you provide.
Right. From our side of it, from the contractor, it's upsell. From their side, it's just options.
It's options. Yeah. Would you like a dimmer on these 9 recessed lights in your living room area where you have a TV? Yes. Okay, cool. Boom. You know, that's an addition. You know, would you like puck lights in your floating shelves at your wet bar?
Now, what about smart basements? How are you working that in with the thought of the Alexas and the devices and to be able to just automate different things? Because that's another expansion. Whereas you could automate a basement, but now, since the upstairs is probably not automated, you can simply offer the package. And then I know how your guys used to, you don't go up the steps, you don't go into the upper floor. But now you have the potential to sell home automation, smart homes. You can now say, hey, you know, upstairs, your key switching areas, like your living rooms or whatever, we can now install smart switches. It'll talk with the basement stuff that we're doing upstairs. So now your whole house, so retrofitting the existing house to add some smart stuff. So that, again, that's bringing money back on the table, because people get sold into the smart home in the basement, but their upstairs is not smart. So they're like, hey, we can make the upstairs smart too.
Yes.
So that's an add-on. So that's not Tony. That would be something you would do.
No, that actually, To be honest with you, part of that is Tony.
Okay.
He does the Raw 3. He has the certifications
Okay.
through certain dealers and manufacturers, and a lot of them are those. You see them all the time. They're
Well, you know, my old saying is, right? You know, my old egg thing. My old saying is don't rely on Tony. Mr. Grunberg needs to learn all those things so that something happens to Tony, heaven forbid, that you're able to continue that service on, right?
oh yeah.
As he walks away.
No, I'm listening.
I don't like to rely. I like to have the ability to do it all myself, whether I choose to not do it. I like the ability. So when I used to do the smart stuff, I made sure that if I had my guys do it, I knew how to do it. I knew we wanted to be able to pick up and
Oh, of
do it if we
course.
needed to, that type of thing.
Of course, and that goes like I told you. This I'm kind of spilling beans on something that isn't fully in play yet, all the way. But as far as how it's going to come out, I mean, I've made so many connections this year with the subcontracting work that it's phenomenal. I even had one guy give me a bottle of whiskey with a glass, like a little collector's edition thing, and it came from one of my subcontractors.
Hey,
Some of my
they
guys that
making
even
money.
work for
You
me.
making money. You make money. They make money. Everybody make money. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's making money. And so this allows us to be able to go into those. Maybe we expand outside of basements. Maybe we go back into some remodel work as well. Now that I got a couple more crews.
Oh, whoa. Roll it back a little bit, grasshopper. Okay. There's so many headaches with that. Seems like you're rolling along good. For me, I tell people adding a service division is, to me, what every company. If I was an electrician starting out today, and I wanted to be my own boss, I didn't want to answer to other people, right? I get that question all the time. I get emails. I can show you emails that I get from people saying, "Hey, Paul, I'm this. I'm tired of working for somebody. I want to do my own thing. What is your advice?" And I respond back to everybody I can. And I say, dude, if you're new into the industry and you want to start, doing some stuff, I said, get business cards made, get the licenses you need, get the flyers made, look at your neighborhoods, aged neighborhoods, anything that is 5 to 10 years old, 10 preferably. Start hitting flyers, Vistaprint, as we've talked about before, cheap as you can get for door hangers. Start hitting neighborhoods, offering your services for service. Slow process, but again, it's the way to start, and you can do them on your own time.
Yeah.
Customers are very flexible when they realize that, oh, you got another job, but here I'm offering you a good price and I'm trying to build my business. They're not asking you to wire the whole house. They just need you to fix a receptacle or a switch or add a circuit here, or add some lights, or hang ceiling fans, or take ceiling fans down. But you're there. Smart home, where they're asking you to add smart stuff because people just don't understand how to do them. That's what I would tell anybody out there who's working for somebody who can start working a little bit for themselves. Don't think right away you're going to get these builders that bring you on as a contractor. They've got relationships already. You're going to be there waiting to replace one of those when one of those relationships goes south. But in the short term, start a service business and start doing that. That's what I would tell anybody starting out in electrical.
Yeah.
That type. Unless you work for somebody and you've got builders coming to you saying, "Hey, leave that company, start your own, and I'll give you all my work." Right.
Right.
And then that's not fair to the company that originally had to work. That's poaching work. So start your own thing, service related. I'm always big on the service. You're not going to make a killing up front, but you're going to slowly get your name out there, and word of mouth spreads quickly in a neighborhood. That type of thing.
Yeah, I think with the service, one, when you go into business, or you're starting up, is you have to meet. You have to have a schedule. You have to fill that calendar, right?
Yeah.
You just can't have so many open days and think that you're gonna pay the bills by working half because you're gonna charge double. Well, guess what?
Right.
What happens if a project falls out and you bid that job and you don't get that job, and that was supposed to take 4 days of your time?
Right.
And that fell through. Now, where are you coming up with that money? Well, I'll tell you what I did. is I went and I posted offers my services to other individuals on Craigslist.
Right.
I did it through social media. I
Mhm.
would do it through like a Thumbtack, a Home Advisors. Obviously, do your research on these
Yeah, because those are fixed
these
amounts and
sites.
they're usually pretty low when it comes to the thumbtack, but it can keep you busy.
Again, what are we talking about here? We're talking about filling that schedule. We're talking about
Mhm.
doing the service, right? Because if you are using one of those services and it's a direct lead service is what you're doing, you're getting charged $50 for a direct lead. Well, okay, let's say that direct lead is today, and Mr. Abernathy needs his dishwasher receptacle replaced because it's shorting
Right.
out or whatever. Okay,
Right.
cool. Hey, Mr. Abernathy, my name is Jay with Wired Up. I start at $100 an hour with a $50 service charge. I believe we can get this done within an hour. So you're looking at maybe $150 plus the material, which maybe it factors into the 150 if it just is a receptacle and a plate. Okay, cool. So then you go in there and you that's an hour, maybe 30-minute drive time, 45 minutes, hour to get it resolved, payment, all that stuff, and you're hitting the road. Well, now you got 2 hours, $150, and you still got an open schedule. So that's where a lot of these services, kind of like what we were talking about, that Router 99. I need a service for my my
Right.
pipe to get snaked, and I called there, and they had someone within 4-hour window. Cool. I can hit most of the times you can hit a 4-hour window
Right.
if you have nothing to do that day. So it kind of goes to your point. Get into service. Get those.
So you know what I told you. A lot of people don't realize this, and even with you, because you really are not yet into service specific. But you're the kind of guy that actually, for anybody out there, you actually leave a lot of money on the table. So you're not a greedy contractor. And the reason I say this is because you buy all of your stuff from Home Depot. I mean, the majority of your stuff, you spend a lot at Home Depot.
Mhm.
Many people know that Home Depot has the Home Depot Pro thing, whereas they will actually. So when I first moved out here, I was doing the same thing, and I was doing contracting as well as the academy, but I was adding some, and I got the Home Depot Pro thing, and I was amassing a number of points, and they were actually sending me work. I was, sealing fans, circuits, and all of those would actually end up being more than just hanging a fan or hanging. They would like, oh, well, while you're here, can you give me a price on this? And so it all, but you get a certain number. I can only imagine the number of points you have that if you were to have activated that program and you were in that program, you probably would have been bombarded with prospects. And I'm telling you, even what I did with it, I would do anywhere between 5 to 8 calls a week just from the Home Depot thing. Because people will go buy their fans or go buy their luminaires or go buy their stuff from Home Depot, and they would ask to have a professional install, and they would send me the notice. And I would, I think that they send it to a bunch of people, and whoever responds quicker gets it. And I would routinely get it because I wasn't overpriced from my fees, right? I think it was 125 an hour. And so that's one way. So if you're buying all your stuff at Home Depot, I mean, you don't do that. So at the point you wanted to do that, you could almost you could probably almost start a service division just by initiating the Home Depot thing and sign up
Sure.
for that and start doing. You could if you really
Yeah.
want to, because I can only imagine how many points you have.
This is how I feel like it like how the system works is in the beginning when you're starting off, you have to scrap, man, for every piece of meat on the bone to just get jobs rolling, to get your name out there, to start, you're not even getting referrals yet because you haven't, you've been working for someone for so long that you're just now stepping out as your own contractor. You're representing yourself now. And I can tell you, you're not probably going to get work from your contractor side of it because either you're doing commercial and you probably don't have the manpower or the funds or that
Right.
to start that up. So what you're doing, whether you come from the commercial side, industrial side, unless you're just one of those lucky cats that's maybe helping out doing something, you're going to have to go and do service. You're going to have to go to residential. You're going to have to kind of get out of your comfort zone and go to the Home Depots. Listen to how we you and I kind of talked about on one of the other episodes of growing a small business by getting business cards and putting them in in the luminaire boxes or sticking them in,
Yeah, I never got caught. I used to go to the Home Depots and Lowe's, and I used to stick my business cards inside of the luminaire boxes, and I did get calls where the owner opened it, and then sometimes I go like, "Oh, you're part of Lowe's." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna
Yeah, right. This fixture broke. Can you fix it?
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. Hey, I just opened this up and I damaged all the globes.
Yeah.
I saw
And
your card.
and your card was there. Did you do this?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that is a way. I mean, I tell you, as a scrappy contractor wanting to start, you do everything you can do. And servicing is the easier way to get started. But you're right. You got to fill that schedule. But it's going to mean some, but I always tell you, you don't have to quit your day job to do it. Just make sure you get the proper licenses that you need to do it. Right. And
yeah, exactly.
And that type of thing. So you could be working for somebody else. They might not do service. They might not want those low hanging fruits. They might not have the time for service. Like if you're working for Jay and Jay doesn't do service work, but he had a really good electrician that worked for him, Jay probably wouldn't have a problem with the guy doing some service work as long as he does it on his time, that type of thing.
If I haven't been to that job or someone's doing something, I might send them over there and have a guy knock it out. But as far as like, let's say we're doing the basement work or a contract job and there's some stuff upstairs, I definitely run that through the business, because what happens, and the guys have done this to me and probably to other guys out there, is they do the upstairs work and something goes wrong. And then I catch wind of it and I'm like, we never went upstairs for that. Right. Oh, no. Yeah, but your guy did.
No, I'm talking more about what if one of your guys wanted to got their own business cards up and they did everything they needed to do, right? And then they on in the evening they had a call on their own, or if they went on the weekend they wanted to go hit a neighborhood and hang door hangers for their own little side deal. As long as they don't do it on your time or do it to any of your customers,
exactly.
Does that bother you?
Not even one bit. And to be honest with you, I'll help you out with it, man. If it's one of my guys, let's say on a service change, let's say it's one that you get and you're not licensed in that jurisdiction, or you need someone who is, that can pull a permit, get inspected. I'll help you out. I'll even help you out with some of the material. And you can do that by the same thing, like you said, giving out your own personal business cards. And let's say you get something that you need to bring a boss into, or someone who has the experience like myself. I have an open door policy. As long as we're all making money and the jobs are getting done and inspected and everything's fine, then I'm willing to help you too on some of those. But like you said, don't try to poach on the work that I have, because this work feeds us as a business. It feeds you guys out in the field. It feeds the guys, the salary guys.
Just respect. A little respectful.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's millions of jobs out there right now for electrician in Colorado. Don't try to get it off of my jobs, Get your own. So
Elwood's got a question for you. Do you give free estimates, Jay?
So Elwood, that's a good question. In the beginning, every job I went to obviously was free. I wasn't experienced enough, or I wasn't as developed as I am now, to where I have more bills. My overhead is a lot higher now than it was when I first started. So when I first started, yes, every estimate was free. I charged, I believe it was like $50 an hour, and a lot of it was T&M jobs. A lot of it was just time and material, and a lot of times I didn't even charge a service fee at that time. And now I do, obviously, because I have multiple vans, gas, inflation, whatever it is, just being a business owner. But do you give free estimates? Yes. I've kind of been able to weed out the ones that I know that I'm just wasting my time on. Let's say, for example, it's a person who's buying a home, and they got an inspection corrections report, and they want me to go out there and walk the job with them and go over all that list of inspections. Guess what? I've done it. Waste of time. Don't do it. Have them send you over the form. Go over the form yourself. Put a price, anything, or just
you end up going out and doing it. You end up going out and doing it. Give them a list, and then they do it themselves.
Well, that, or they use that quote. They use that 10,000, whatever you charge them, and they say, "Hey, I'll just knock the 10,000 off this house. You have someone else fix it." Well, then where am I at? Where's my compensation for
So my brother has been around. Obviously, we started business together, AA Electric, and he's has gone on. He's still operating it. He's just turned 60, I believe. If you're watching, Todd, got the dates wrong there. And he's gotten to where he'll ask the customer, and that's the way I used to be. I'll ask the customer enough details to give them a estimate, because that's what it is. When you say free estimate, the operative word there is estimate. Everybody wants to hold that. I've had people where you give them an estimate and they come in and go, well, you said $75, or you said $175, you said $200. I'm like, yeah, but I gave you an estimate based on the information you provided, maybe pictures you provided, but maybe I got there to hang that ceiling fan and noticed that there is no ceiling fan box there. Well, guess what? That estimate was based on the fact that you want me to replace that ceiling fan, and there was a ceiling fan box there. It's not there anymore.
Yep.
How can I assume that something's there just because, I can't see above it? I don't know so it's an estimate. I'm giving you an estimate. Now, I always told people, if I was estimate and I was higher than I needed to be, then there's occasions where I would be less than the estimate. I'd say, yeah, this is the cost. I got here and looked at it. Yeah. It wasn't what I thought, and I'm fair. I mean, that's an ethics thing. That's something you have to, as a contractor, you'll determine what you do or not. But yeah, I mean, estimates are estimates, but I stopped doing free estimates except for over the phone and ask them to send me a picture.
Yeah.
Or I would say, give me a very descriptive of what you need, or give me a picture of the panel or breaker or whatever's having a problem. Give me that. Take the time. Take a little time to weed it out. Otherwise, you just get those tire kickers. And I'm not into I don't have the time for the tire kickers.
No,
I want to run around, keep doing all these free estimates and not making any money from it.
In order to distinguish who the tire kickers are, though, you have to go through that process, right? You have to go to jobs where you're wasting your time, you're wasting your gas, you're starting to get a feel from people that you're talking to when you engage with them, whether it's someone you just met, whether it's someone who's a referral, whatever it is. You're gonna go through those trial and errors. You're gonna lose a little bit, then kind of like what you said, you're gonna start asking the right questions. But in order to be able to know what questions to ask, you have to go through those trial and errors. Lost a lot of money, man. We're not where we're at just because we kept to the same standards. Every year we're trying to grow, and I involve more people, and now we've got a full house of people, I feel like, and we're getting there, and so when you are first starting off, it's rough, man. That calendar can get scary. Yes, you say, hey, man, I work for myself and I don't have to answer to anybody, but it's actually the opposite. You're answering to everybody. You're answering
your
to
customer.
The PM, the place you're getting your materials from, your supply houses, the bank who wants money because you took some money from them and they want it back. You're answering to everybody, and you just don't stop. You just don't shut your phone off at 3:30, especially if you put your personal phone as your business phone, which I did. Then it's always going.
Right.
It's always ringing. And every time that phone rings, in your mind, you have to think that that's money. Right. And you're selling yourself. Well, guess what? Now that you go out, let's say I went out to go do a ceiling fan, like you said. I go out and do a ceiling fan install. Okay, I'm there. I change it out, $150, $300, whatever it is. Now, guess what? I'm inside their house. I've experienced enough to know, hey, I might be able to turn this $300 call into a $1,500 call.
I used to tell people all the time, offer a free electrical evaluation of their panel. Look for loose breakers. Look for I'll do while I'm here. And if you ever go to a call and you got an hour minimum, and you actually have finished whatever the call is in 30 minutes, 25 minutes, they paid for an hour. I know that the ratio is better if you take the hour minimum and leave.
Yeah, of course. But, you're making more money.
But if you offer to give the panel a look and see, make sure everything's okay, look around, do a safety check, recommend GFCIs where they don't have them. Maybe it's an order home, AFCIs, again, whatever. Smart switches, smart automate, whatever. At the end of the day, you could turn that $300 one into a $1,500. I think all they can do is say no, but I'm going to give them that hour. I mean, unless they say, no, I don't need anything. Okay, good. Then I'm out. You're going to pay me a minimum an hour, right? Hey, Jay, do you see the comment on the screen?
Yeah, father and son chat.
Jay, I am your father.
Yes.
It's almost like that was keyed up. I am your father. What is that? What is that comment? Do I look old? And does he look young? I mean, we look at the beard and the gray. I'm supposed to be whatever.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right, enough of that. So anyway, both wear glasses, both wearing hats, both electricians. Okay, well, a little bit better one here, but you know what I'm saying.
We give you guys these tips and tricks and the stories that we have, knowing that you're not gonna get to where we were at overnight. You're not. Yeah. It's not happening, you guys. So when Paul talks about going into these places and upselling these products, guess what? Maybe you're just there and you can only do that install. Well, guess what? Get paid for that install. It's instant cash. You're getting it once the job's done. As long as you complete the job 100%, you're most likely not going to have an inspection on it. So once you leave that place by putting that ceiling fan up, you're done. You're out. See ya. Bye. Leave a business card, grab your money and go. But as you grow,
some people are scared to sell, Jay. I mean, they don't like, do you think maybe it's a rejection?
I just don't think that they ever had to do it before. And so they don't know how to really sell other than the service that they're there to help you with. You know what I mean? Like, hey, my line's plugged. Bring your snake down, unplug it, get your money, get the hell out of there. Bye. Yeah. See ya. That's all I need. I think as you grow, though, as a business owner, because a lot of these guys, if there's no skin in the game, they don't want to upsell.
I think a lot of times the owners also think about what they don't like, and they don't want to do what they don't like. In other words, I do that. I don't put things. I change the websites and add things because of what I want. Simplify things, add things, make it. I get it. But there's that old saying, what is that? You're messing with my money. You're messing with my emotions, Smokey. If I'm a business and I'm going into a house, I have to get that mentality that there is other things that I can offer that customer. They have an option to say no, but I personally believe you're not going to be overtly successful as a contractor.
Yep.
Unless you realize that you're a salesman, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Whether you like it or not. And I tell people at Encore all the time, I say, I'm not a salesman. And they laugh at me. They go, Paul, you're probably one of our best salesmen because you can talk code, you talk products. That's what sells. And I'm like, I get it, but I'm not branded a salesman.
Right.
But because you can talk the talk, walk the walk, explain things, articulate to a sense that the customer's like, well, I don't know that I need that, but now I think I do need that. But you're not selling them snake oil. You're not bullshitting them. You're just telling them these are the options.
Right. These are, that's.
If you want them, you want them. But I feel it's my duty to offer that while I'm there. They can always say no. Yeah. But you're never going to know if you don't. Hey, look who's in the house.
Yeah, but make sure also that you have a price to that, right? Because you're gonna offer something. And kind of like what you said, maybe you have 30 minutes, or maybe you offer at a different time. Maybe you go in and you do that ceiling fan replacement. You say, hey, I got a jet, but just so you know, this month we're doing a $49.99 deal on a whole home evaluation, electrical wise, whatever it is, right? You're already there. You already got your foot.
People think that only a home inspector can do that. In most states, the licensed electrical contractor can do an electrical evaluation. You're not evaluating the footings. You're not evaluating this drywall. You're the professional. You're doing electrical. And thing about electrical is that there are so many things there that are just waiting to cause problems. And the thing about electrical is it still works, even if people do it wrong, right? It still works.
Oh, it's still gonna, and it's been working.
Houses without a grounding electrode system still work. Now the voltages creep around because it's not stabilized to the earth. You wonder why light bulbs will burst out sometimes. Yeah. You wonder why electronics will act funky if they're plugged into the circuit, because maybe the voltage stabilization is not there. But back in the old days, when you had those houses that didn't have a ground electrode system, the technology wasn't smart. It wasn't sensitive. It was just clunky. Now that we're getting smart this, smart that,
Yeah.
These systems are looking for ground references. They're looking for these type of things. So things can get wonky. So again, opportunity is what you're looking for. I don't leave anything off the table. I really don't. They could come and ask me to hang one ceiling fan. I know that there's other rooms in that house that could be beneficial to have a ceiling fan that maybe they're not installing it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to offer it. I'm going to say, well, you know what, while I'm here, or I can tell you what it would cost you while I'm here. Maybe you don't have the fan yet, that type of thing.
Right.
And I know some electricians that were so savvy that back in the day, much better salesmen than me, they would actually have the catalogs, or they would know what Lowe's or Home Depot had or what the supply house had. And they would pull the catalog out of their thing and say, well, here's some fans. You see any you're interested in? I'll see if I can get it for you. And then they would make a little bit on the fan, because some people today don't want to take the time to do the legwork. Right.
Yep.
So you can be creative is what I'm saying. Hey, notice Tim's in the house here. Old school.
What up, Tim? Coach
Still in the
Strong,
house.
baby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go. And what does Elwood say? I can install it all day, but I can't sell it. Well, I think some people, one, they don't like rejection.
Yep.
Two, it puts them in an awkward position, because you could have this moment of silence between you and the customer, and they're like, and it's an awkward moment, right? And the tip that I give people with that is throw your pitch. When the awkward moment comes, you be the one to break the moment. That's a tip. Okay, there you go, folks. There's a free marketing tip for you. You be the one to break the ice, because here's what happens. If I were to say to you, Jake, hey, Jay, thanks for having us out here today. Since we're here and we finished a little early, I want to do you want me to do a safety inspection? I'll check your panel, make sure all the lugs are terminated properly, tight, and everything like that. And then I'll do a free walk around to let you know whether or not you need GFCIs or AFCIs or a recommendation, or even if they're available for your panel, other things like that. Are you good with that? It's not going to cost you any more to me to look. And they'll go, well, and the moment you get that awkward silence, or them, the he and haw, and you go, hey, look, I get it. It's not costing you anything. I'm already here. And I just want to offer these to you. If you want them, because here's the thing. A hard sell doesn't have to mean that you're simply waiting for the sale at that moment. All you're doing in many cases is planting the seed.
Yeah.
That's it. So that what happens is, when you leave, even if you don't get it that day, that's fine. But even if you don't get it that day, you're never going to get a sale that's not mentioned or asked for. In other words, you're never going to close a sale unless you ask for the sale. You're never. Yeah. So if you're easing into this, Elwood, if you're easing into it, then what you do is make recommendations. When you hear that awkward silence, means that they're not sure that's what they want to do, then you get used to coming up with a response to the negative or response to the silence. Go, hey, I get it. I understand it. It's like I'm pushing something down your throat. Look, and be very humble. Say, look, I'm not. I'm just here. I'm gonna offer it to you, and those type of thing. And I can make recommendations for you. Here's my card. You can always call me. I'm more than happy to come back. And that's why I talk to people about. That's a perfect opportunity for the Tradies app, because that's a perfect opportunity for you to get them to put the app on your phone, and then they go, you need me? Push the button. I'm here if you need me, and all that type of stuff. So just don't be afraid to ask for it. And the only way you're going to get better at it is to do it. But what you need to do is sit down and pre-think of the things that you want to offer, so that it becomes natural for you. Ceiling fans, GFCIs, AFCIs, panel inspection, a quick walk around, pull out your Sure tester, pull out your tester, test some receptacles. Say, you got any broken receptacles, broken switches? I'll take care of them while I'm here. All they can say is no. But it doesn't hurt. And the moment you get that awkward silence, go, hey, I get it. But I just wanted you to know that I am available for those things if you run into them. That type of thing. You don't have to be hard selling where you just push it down their throat. Just be ready. The moment that there's that awkward silence, that you come back to diffuse it and say, I get it. I don't want you. I don't want you to think I'm forcing anything on you. I'm just that's part of what we do. It's part of what we look at. That's what we do. I want to offer these things to you. Let me do that free inspection. Look, I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm just, you'll get used to it. That type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll learn on installing as well too, because let's say you do offer GFIs in the kitchen, or you're gonna do their smart switches throughout their house, right? And you have a certain price, and so you're setting up and you start changing them out. Well, maybe the wires, the conductors in there aren't long enough. Well, now you're spending more time, pigtailing them. Maybe the smart switches that you bought need a neutral. Maybe they don't have it at that location. Maybe there's a lot of other things too.
The good thing about it is you probably don't have that material with you when you're making this.
Yeah.
So since you're there, if they're like, "Oh, I'm interested in the switches," then it's an opportunity for you to pull a cover and look.
Yeah, go take a look at them that way, because they are ones that don't require them. I'm just when you get into the service game, you're pretty much taking whatever's existing and trying to bring it up to your the recent code or something safe, right? Like GFIs in certain areas. So it is a good way, Elwood. Like me, I don't classify myself as a good salesman, really. When I'm out on the job, I can get jobs. I can talk to contractors. I feel good talking to them and providing our services. But I would have to say, out of like the 3 PMs, me, myself, Chris, and Andrew, I might be in the middle-ish to the bottom, unless it's something that I'm really passionate about, or I really, think is a good sale. But these guys can sell better than I have, and that's why I've hired them to do that. You know what I mean? So
I tell people, when we say good salesman, we're not talking about good in a sense of closing the sale and being like a car salesman. No disrespect to car. My father was a car salesman. It was a car dealership. But he never hard sold anybody. He always used the mentality where they're coming to me, so they want it. I don't have to work that damn hard. They're coming to me. They already want the car. They're coming to me.
Yeah,
so
they'll tell you in their house what they want.
Yeah, they called you to the house to fix something. They have a need. All you're doing is taking an opportunity to offer additional services while they're there. And my dad used to be one of the best car salesmen ever in that area. He was one Ford dealer first. He had all those little rings with the little diamonds in for every you hit a certain number and all that stuff. And I used to say to him, I said, "Boy, you must be good at selling." He goes, "No." He says, "It's easy to sell when you have the product that people want, or you have to explain to them why they need it, and they'll make the decision." Right?
That's true.
And if you're selling the game in town, then they want it. But all you got to do is lay it out there, because people don't know what they don't want. They don't know what they need. You've got to lay it out there. So just get used to your pitch and be ready to say, "Okay, well, that's cool. But if you need me, here's my card, right? And I'll be here, if you need me, if you want anything."
Yeah, I think that's something this year or the new year we're gonna look into, as well as the 2023 is like chemistry building, PM building for our guys, myself and my 2 PMs, because I have a feeling that right now we're down to really one in-house crew. 2 guys that are running projects. I can split them up if needed, but right now I have them working together. Everybody else is the subs. Well, I want to try to build this year, kind of like what Elwood's saying. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable, and a lot of times it's just getting out of your shell. Right. We're not all born to sell products. Yeah, we can install, like he said, he can install for days. Well, guess what? You have to sell to grow your business, but there's guys like us that can kind of give you some insight on how to do it, and maybe you have a checklist. Maybe you have 5 simple things you go through in someone's house, or keep.
And I think here's the other thing that I always believe: it's much easier to sell in things you believe in. Right? You come across really shallow if you're trying to push something that you don't believe in. If you're an electrician, you believe in GFCIs, you believe in AFCIs, you believe in what you're selling, looking for for issues in panels because we know things come loose, things can get weak, breakers can be broke, plates get broke. You know, people need ceiling fans, so they want ceiling fans. Otherwise, they wouldn't be calling you out there. So, you know, it's easy for me to sell something that I believe in. It's part of my trade. It's part of my profession. I believe in. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm not going to go somewhere and try to sell you something that I don't believe in.
Yep.
It's not going to do it. So it makes it so much easier to sell if you believe in it. That type of thing.
I agree. One thing I like to sell too, and these are the surge protectors for the basement panels that I put in, because a lot of times their main panel might be full because I'm adding an additional 2-pole breaker.
Right.
So if I can get into their main panel, I'll even upsell a surge protector on their whole house if they don't have it. If not, I'll at least put it in our remote distribution panel in the basement.
You got to believe in it. You got to believe in it because surge protection is legit. I mean, with electronics as sensitive as they are today, and surges can come from outside and inside, right? And so, yeah, is that a plug on?
Yep. You know how long it takes me to snap this thing in? 10 seconds.
About 5 seconds.
Yeah, as long as I got the 2 open spots for it, I'm good to go, man. You know,
it takes you a little longer if you got to move something around a little bit, but
this thing right here costs about $50-$60. I charge $250, $300, whatever it is. Beautiful. So there you go.
And it's worth it. That's not gouging either. That's
not by any means.
Those units right there, Jay, they come with an insurance, don't they?
Yes.
Yep.
In the pamphlet inside, you can get a hold of somebody.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, protection. So yeah. And that's the going rate. I mean, in fact, to something that's probably pretty reasonable.
That's actually probably less than what a lot of other people are charging, because not everybody has them in stock too. Again, it goes back to what the price is of these bad boys. Since I was starting to sell them, probably like mid-year this year, pitching them to the customers, we've been doing really good on them. I'd probably say at least 60%. For myself, when I was selling them, I was 90% ratio. 9 out of 10 people where I was putting surge protectors in their basement panels. My other guys, they're probably about 60%. But again, Chris, he sells 20 amp circuit upgrades, meaning in a traditional room, like a bedroom, out in the living room, out in the game room, whatever it is, we normally provide them with a 15 amp, dual function circuit. So it's 14 gauge wire, that white stuff back there, the white cable. Well, he'll upsell. I won't say upsell. He'll provide them the option of a 20 amp circuit upgrade. So then, we got to switch to the 12 AWG NMB, and then also a breaker. Well, he sells a lot of those. I didn't really sell a lot of those. Well, those are good upsells. We probably make about $100 on each one of those. So everybody has their niche on selling certain things. But when you come together as a group, and that's why this year I want to come together more as a group, is we can kind of go over what is working best for everybody, what isn't, and how to improve that to our sales game. So Elwood, you still have a lot of time, man. Especially if it's just you. It's hard to always be up that ladder, working up top, wiring something in, and then answering the phone. Hey, this is Elwood with Elwood Electric, whatever it is. Hey, Elwood, can you come by and take a look at this? And you're as you're listening to this guy, you're up there making up a connection, and you're always busy, man. You're always doing something as a business owner.
Maybe we call him Elwood. Isn't his name actually Eric? I think. Let me know, Elwood. I can't remember. I never can remember names. Yeah. So great tips on that. Back when I put the surge protection in, it was actually Eaton's SPROs when I was their ECCN guy, and I was explaining them to people. Actually, those are one with the leads, and you actually mount it outside of the panel. But they had special panels with a little platform that you could mount them in the panel, but you couldn't put them in the panel unless they were designed that way. So we have to mount them adjacent, and then the leads would come in, keeping those leads as short as possible, because lightning and surges do not like to make loops. Okay. So in this case, you eliminate that by simply putting the plug on. So I like that. Yep, definitely. Now, so does Leviton have the same thing? Do they have a plug-on one as well?
I haven't got that far with them yet. Like I said, just kind of recently.
Let's see products here. Leviton. Let's look here.
I would imagine so.
switches. Let's see here. Fan speeds, motion, circuit
What are
breakers.
circuit breakers down there? Load center, maybe. Maybe it's under load center. Circuit breakers could be. I'm not sure.
I don't know. They got EV charger.
Oh, there they go. There, bottom left.
Oh,
Hmm.
where?
Right there. Go down, down,
Oh.
down, 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 down,
Panel
down,
mount.
down. Yeah, but go a little more. Circuit breakers because they got surgery.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that works.
right. So there's a whole house one there. You're right. So I want to go to the circuit breaker real quick.
Yeah, try that one. That's probably the one that we need. Oh, there we go.
Surge protected device. Oh, look. Surge protected device with two 15-amp, one pole standard hydraulic mechanic. So this tells me that instead, so look, I'd have to, I'm not sure. I'm gonna hit the spec sheet real quick. Hold on. Can you see the spec?
Yeah.
Let's look at this thing real quick. So
What's she
the reason I'm asking, and we'll forget this part. All right. So, so the reason I'm asking is that you know how the standard ones that you have, right?
Yeah.
They take up 2 spots, right?
Yep.
But the ones that you have, is there a breaker on it?
No.
It's just a surge protector, right?
Exactly.
So it looks like this one actually works as a circuit breaker, so you don't actually lose any spots.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? So it says here that it's 2 15-amp standard circuit breakers, okay, with the magnetic trip, and plug-on installation offers a type 1 surge protection for the entire home. That is cool right there, buddy. So think about when you're talking money.
Oh, yeah.
You're able to use 2 breakers, so you get to take away 2 breakers from your list, right? And you get to sell the surge protection as well. See, so when I learn this stuff, really, that's what I'm trying to do when I'm doing this stuff. I'm trying to learn where I can make the most money, where I can do the most of it, right? So you're selling a surge protection, but that you also have to sell 2 breakers, right? In the panel for 2 circuits. Well, here I can do a 2-pole breaker, okay? So this is 2 1-pole standards. So it's just 2 standard breakers. But the way this designed, it's a surge protected device as well. So unlike with the Eaton, I have to sell them the surge arrestor or surge protector, but then I still need to buy 2 breakers, right? Right?
Exactly. Come here, babe.
So here I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That is pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Come here. I know.
All right. Well, everybody, I think we probably beat this one to death. We've been almost 3 hours. It was great to chat with you, Jay. Everybody out there that chimed in.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for doing that.
I know. We're going to go. We got to go get some food.
Yeah.
Hungry.
What is it? Eric says, thanks, guys. Means a lot. I have a kitchen and a master bath. I was asking to walk. I'm thinking of time material. And designer wants Decora devices and covers with the visible hardware, and that's the best way to price. There you go. Those are all upgrades. Standard plates, Decora switches, all upgrade. All those type of things. All fair game. So, anyway.
And can't lose
all right,
on
everybody. Well, everybody, hopefully everybody has a wonderful new year. If we don't see you in another live stream between then, hopefully you got something out of this. Little tips and tricks from the Basement King and myself. Everybody. So everybody have a happy new year. We're going to cut out of this thing. Till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless. And we'll catch you in another episode.
Bye.